Hey guys, Terry here. I wanted to hop in before the episode proper to let you know that I'm going to be streaming our monthly game for the podcast here on the Palm Tree Studios YouTube channel. That'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific starting May 11th. And just to note, the game that I'll be playing won't be the game that'll be revealed at the end of this episode, but rather the next one that we'll be doing. And that's just because of the timeline of when we record versus when we release episodes. Hope to catch you guys on the stream on May 11th. And back to your regularly scheduled book club for games.
Hello, and welcome to a book club for games. We are four lifelong friends who love to play games, and we wanted a new way to game together. So we decided to start a book club, but for games. Every month, we'll choose one new game to play, and at the end of that month, we invite you all to join us in discussing that game. Everything will be up for discussion, from gameplay to sound design, business practices, or really anything else we can think about. So, without further ado, I'm Mitchell.
Kevin.
Terry.
Jeffrey. Sorry, I was
One day.
my headset.
All right.
One day.
And anyways, this month's game is Jedi Fallen Order from EA.
Whose game could that have been? I
So
wonder.
that was my game. Why Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Well, I am a big Star Wars fan. Have been for, I think, basically my whole life. And actually, a big reason I am is because of Star Wars video games. I watched the movies when I was young, but really what has been the main outgrowth of my fandom has been through video games and the books and stuff. But I really do like Star Wars video games specifically. This one has been on my radar for a while. I never got around to playing it when it came out. I've played Battlefront and most of the other modern Star Wars games, but this one just hadn't had an excuse to do it, so I took this as the opportunity to do so. It was pretty good. I was quite pleased with it. But anyways.
Wait, I have a question.
What?
Did you ever play the famous Lego Star Wars?
Of course,
yeah,
bro.
of course you did. I think I played it with you at your
He's-
house once.
It's modern ones, okay? I gotta know he's played the classics.
I've played most of the good Star Wars games except for like the old ones, and crucially Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I have
Oh,
not
the
played.
MMO. Yeah, classic.
I've played Battlefront 2 back in the day.
Classic.
But
There's two.
otherwise, my only other real experience with Star Wars is like a couple episodes of the Clone Wars animated series, and then episode 8, because these guys dragged me to go watch it with them when it came out. But otherwise, I'm not that big into Star Wars. Like, I know the general big plot points that are part of like mainstream culture or whatever. But outside of that, what about you, Kevin?
Yeah. I haven't played any Star Wars games. This is my first Star Wars game. I played Lego Star Wars. That's a lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually played it with, maybe it was you. I don't know if it was you. I think I might have played that at like Jack's house. Yeah.
Lego Star Wars is like old. Like we were. That's like beyond
that's
when
like
we even knew each
GameCube.
other. Like
Yeah.
possibly.
No, but I think we might have booted it up
Yeah.
because like it
possibly.
wasn't coming out. But aside from that one, I've watched Mitchell play Battlefront 2 in college. Or no, the new
That was
Battlefront
Battlefront
game.
1, the beta.
Oh yeah.
The new Battlefront 1.
Yeah, I remember watching the bike sequences through the forest, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But I've watched almost everything. I think I've watched the episodes, the prequels, and the original trilogy growing up. I've watched the first movie in high school like 5 times. And then I'm pretty up to date too. I haven't watched Boba Fett, but I've watched Mando and overall, I enjoy Star Wars. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan of it, but like I like it when I see it.
I can tell you exactly 3 moments of my life that were Star Wars pivotal. In middle school, I watched 30 minutes of The Empire Strikes Back, and I got bored, so I left. Uh, I wait, I'm actually blanking. I literally was just coming up with this.
I think you were also there when they dragged me to go watch episode 8.
Yeah, that's one. I watched episode 8 because they dragged me there. I know the pop culture references, and I played Fallen Order.
You're basically a diehard fan now.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
very, very well versed in Star Wars. I
What?
recognize Darth Vader at the end. That's pretty cool. Right?
Oh man,
That was.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I know, dude. Does the guy not know how to make an entrance? Because the last time, it wasn't that long ago. In okay, spoilers for
Spoilers for Star
for-
Wars in general.
Yeah, I watched that one episode of Mandalorian at Kevin's house like 3 years ago or something. Yeah.
But-
There you go.
But the Vader man can't not make an entrance at this point. Like holy
Well,
shit.
Vader's not in Mando, is he? No, he's not.
Wasn't he?
No,
What
he's
movie?
dead in
oh.
Mando.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the movies.
Oh, Rogue One.
Yeah. Rogue
Yeah,
One.
okay.
And,
Yeah.
The last time we saw him, and this one we saw him, I was like, wow. Yeah, they did him justice.
Yeah, it works. Okay, well, just to round up, to clarify, I am a pretty big Star Wars fan. I've watched all the movies, all the shows except for Rebels, and I guess there's like that. There's some like kids animation shows, like I think Resistance is one of them. I haven't watched that one either, but I'm pretty up to date with most of it. Read some of the books, somewhat familiar with extended universe, but not super familiar. But yeah, I would consider myself. I would never call myself a super fan because there's some crazy real super fans out there, but I'm a pretty big fan.
Yeah, you're just a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. But we have a good spread here. I think Kevin would probably be like your average, like pop culture.
Main-
Average Star Wars enjoyer.
Yeah. And then we have
Mitchell's a
two,
Sigma Star Wars chat.
and then we have our betas here who have never watched the movie.
Yeah.
It just didn't grab me. I saw some bitch ass droids get cut up, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm out.
Yeah, so in terms of what happens in Fallen Order, as far as I understand, it basically takes place right after the Jedis have been hunted down. Is that what Order 66 is?
Order
Yeah.
66.
Okay.
So you
I
guys
like
know
it,
that too, then at least.
Yes, that's a pop culture
I
reference.
figured that out through context of the game.
Well, that's good.
Order
makes the
66
game
happens, so all the Jedi are hunted down. You basically follow one of the last remaining Jedi who's hiding out in some sort of junk town.
Plant.
Kestis.
Basically, yeah, Calcast this, and you basically, the whole thing is you following the adventure. He gets found by this person who used to be a Jedi but cut herself off from the Force, and the whole big plot of the thing is that you're going around following breadcrumb trails that will hopefully lead Cal to this map of the galaxy that has the location of all the Force sensitive children, aka the next generation of Jedi, on it for them to find and protect from the Empire, who are in the process of culling anybody who is related to the Force. That's like the basic overview of the plot.
I think that's the main story point, but he does find it. Along the way, his main enemies are Inquisitors, who are like dark, not quite Jedi, but dark Jedi.
Yeah.
And he goes through finding a lot of. This is, I think, Fallen Order is some of the first times you see like the Zepho people, whatever they're called. So that's a interesting addition to the canon, I think. But in general, it's not super new, I think. It's pretty standard, like hero's journey almost. But I wanted to ask, especially since I knew a lot of the context, right? I knew Order 66, like I recognized the ships and everything, the history. I knew all the context around it. Like, how did you guys find being thrown into Star Wars world, especially the two of you who like don't know much?
It just felt like, oh, there's probably a reference here that I'm not getting for most of it. But otherwise, it was like, oh, it's kind of like just
Followable.
yeah, it's followable, nice looking terrain overall. But again, like,
Oh,
oh,
sorry.
go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
no, you can finish. You should finish.
I didn't
Actually.
really have a thought.
Well, that's so sad. That sounded so sad. I was just gonna say, I don't know. I feel like for someone who's never watched Star Wars, I know more than you'd think. Like I know what Order 66 was because Star Wars memes. Uh, I knew some things. Like I know what a Luker Hulk is. I like that because I've done like when I did like research for writing and stuff and like sci-fi. Like some ships are cool to look at. Obviously Darth Vader. I did not know what that Inquisitors. Well, the game tells you what Inquisitors are, so I didn't know they were a thing. For example, but I don't think I really missed anything. I probably missed some references, but like everything just made sense. So it's like it's a really simple story.
Yeah, I guess that's why. Yeah, it still made sense, even like, but I could tell there were like some things where I'm like, oh, this would probably be better if I actually kind of knew the context of what was going on. I couldn't pinpoint a specific one right now.
I guess I also knew the general history of like, oh, there were Jedi and then the Sith took over. So I knew that like the Jedi got, like or they got killed. I know that, right? Like it's Order 66. I know there were Clone Wars. So and I know the Wookiees like helped the Jedi later in like the Revolution or whatever in the movies, right? Like that's like a really pivotal point, right? Where the Wookiees help defeat the Empire or whatever.
Not really. There's
then
Chewbacca, who is a Wookiee. The
so
Ewoks,
loved?
maybe you're thinking of, who are smaller bear creatures.
No, but then why is Chewbacca so loved?
Because he's Han Solo's best friend.
He's the only. I think the only named Wookiee in the original trilogy.
I thought
The
a big,
only Wookiee.
like one of the big parts of the movies was the Wookiees actually defeat the Empire, like a guerrilla warfare kind of thing. Like they do a big battle.
That's the Ewoks, which are small.
Okay. Yeah, I was
bears.
okay.
They're still furry though.
But I see the confusion for sure.
Yeah, but like I knew like the general history, so I don't know. I don't really feel like I missed anything, to be honest. You could probably get into the game with like a very, very minimal understanding.
Yeah. No, I think they did a really good job overall of like just throwing you in and you see the details and like I don't think you actually really need a Star Wars background to enjoy it. Like it's very fun. Like it's straightforward and it's a fun if you enjoy like any of the classic like AAA action adventures, Nathan Drake, Tomb Raider, whatever, I think you can get behind this because I think when we were talking about it,
cinematic experience.
Oh
like
yeah,
those games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
when we were talking about it,
yes. Yeah.
We were saying or I was saying this is like Dark Souls meets Tomb Raider and Star Wars. Is pretty much what they pitched.
Don't I have read some criticisms and some positives, about the game online, and some people get triggered if you compare it to Dark Souls.
They definitely took an inspiration from Dark Souls. I'm not saying it's better or not.
Yeah. And
but the people making the
combat.
game.
Yeah.
The people making the game definitely were inspired.
It's Respawn. It's the people behind Titanfall, bro.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah. But yeah. I think they did overall.
That's caught.
I was worried, that maybe you could get lost, but I think they laid out the important points like very clearly, and mainly all you miss is some richer context. I think like hearing that you might go to Dathomir or Kashyyyk for me as a fan was really cool. Like I know what's going to happen, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's not essential to the story.
Yeah, they were just planet names to me.
Yeah. It was very character driven though, so I think that's why.
Yeah. Question: What is the dark side of the Force? Is it just like an unleashed version of the Force?
So Star Wars is very simple, right? It's not like it's not really you're thinking too hard about it. The dark side is literally just evil people using the Force. The Force connects all living beings. And those who are Force sensitive can call on it to enhance their abilities. Those who are on the dark side want to use it for like power and evil essentially.
Yeah,
and
which
those
is why I was slightly confused. I was like, especially the way they ended up presenting Vader. I was like, how can anyone who isn't using the Force the way that the Dark Force is displayed win against someone who is using it in that manner? I got so confused. I was like the way they presented Vader at the end, like you're not supposed to kill him, right? It was a runaway sequence, and the whole time you're running away, barely winning. I'm like, how are you actually supposed to like compete against someone without going to their level and using Force in a similar way?
Well, it's not necessarily that the light side is weaker. I think you could argue that it is, depending on the setting, but it's more like Vader's power level 9,000 and Inquisitors are not, and you are not.
You see, there's only one Vader, but you have 50 children.
Yeah.
See, so 50 times 100, that's gonna be overpowered Vader's.
I guess
like
hot lore drop for y'all. Anakin, who becomes Darth Vader, is the chosen one, so he's ostensibly the strongest Force user in the galaxy, besides probably the Emperor.
He's got the most chromosomes. I read that. Yeah.
The mighty chlorians. Yes, he does have the most. And then Cal is just a knight at the end, right? And there's a rank above that, which would be master. So he's not as strong. And then actually Inquisitors, who are roughly your equal throughout the game, are generally just like Padawans, so like apprentice levels, who Vader has trained, but he specifically doesn't teach them everything to keep them weaker than him. So that's why he's so much more powerful.
I do have a question. Okay. I have a lore question for you.
Right.
I know about the Sith, there's only supposed to be 2 of them. Right. What is this Inquisitor bullshit? Is this like some loophole?
Essentially, yes, they wanted a way to have lightsaber fights. This is introduced in Rebels, and I think even in the old canon, Inquisitors. But they're basically Force sensitives who, you'll notice they don't have Darth names because they are not Sith. They are just dark.
That's some fucking that is some bullshit. Like, I come up with a system where only 2 of us can use the dark side of the Force, and then you realize, oh shit, there's 500 Jedi, only 2 of us. Now I gotta enlist some children soldiers to get in on this, and then you gotta like, oh, but you're not actually Sith. No, it doesn't break our system. That's
That's essentially that's
Jeffrey just made someone very
way
mad.
to get around it. They're not technically Sith.
That's a hypocrisy right there, bitch. You gotta at least, if you're gonna be evil, at least stick to your damn principles. Be lawful evil.
But I mean, that's also why he's stronger.
The way they presented the Inquisitors in Fallen Order.
No, it makes sense. No, but there's a rule for the Sith that there's only supposed to be 2 of them at a time, Terry.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm bitching about. It's not about the creation of Inquisitors. That's fine. But okay. Anyways.
Yeah, so they're not technically Sith.
Okay.
You can be a dark side Force user without being a Sith, like even like Terran.
So you can be a good side Force user without being Jedi.
Yeah. Even like you could say like Leia, she's not a Jedi, but she.
Oh, I remember episode 8. She flew through space.
Yeah, she flew through
space. But she's not a Jedi. So it's kind of like that.
Okay. I see. Okay.
But yeah, so I guess overall, I think we liked the story. I think, at least from my perspective, it was simple, but done well and good context.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
That was fine. Nothing extraordinary, nothing extraordinary or like, oh my god, I could have never seen that coming.
I think the only thing that slightly surprised me was the Dathomir girl joining you.
Oh, the Night Sister?
Pretty much expected.
Marin, I think.
Marin.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys picked up a lot of lore notes, but it was obvious that the old guy was the guy who was in charge, and you were probably going to do something about him. But I wasn't sure where that was going to go. Everything else was pretty predictable.
Yeah. I think it was fairly predictable. I think little cool bits for me were like I didn't obviously make sense, but the 9th sister, the Inquisitor, being Seer's Padawan, I think was cool.
Yeah, or the second one. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I didn't totally see that coming either. That was a good one. That was a good one.
What's the second? Oh, maybe the
Wait.
second sister.
No,
Second was
Seer's your mentor, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second sister, the one you fight
Bella.
at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
second
You fight her like
sister.
3 times, but yeah.
You fight 3
That was
times.
second.
Ninth is the one you fight on the origin tree, and she looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
With
Yeah,
the
she looks like
axe.
an ogre.
Wait, no, she didn't have an axe.
She had a
like
she had a
stick out.
She's green
dual-sided.
skin.
She had a
Yeah.
dual-sided
Dang, you
lightsaber.
being ogreist, bro.
Ogreist.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I saw that coming from
Mm.
like a mile away.
The second sister.
The fact that
'cause
the
they were
second
both-
sister was Seer's
I
Seer's
wasn't.
old
Yeah.
student. As soon as Seer mentioned that she had an old student, that was the reason why she like escaped from wherever she did. Or when she was explaining her backstory, I was like, oh, the person that who's chasing after us is probably that person, isn't it?
I wasn't totally surprised, but it was a little bit for me.
Mhm.
Like
I
I
think
would
the plot-
have said for sure that that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. For me, I felt like the plot was not bad. It wasn't great, but like
Yeah.
I liked the game a lot because of their execution on things. Like I appreciate a good old Star Wars transition, and like they did some cool stuff with cameras where you spin around and the scene changes. They did
Yeah.
like the first person perspective of the second sister at the end, and like seeing her stuff. Like they did a lot of cool like cinematography tricks, which
Yeah.
is awesome to see in a video game. I think it's not undone, but like it was just very polished and very well put together, and it really elevated the story for me, I think.
Yeah, I think one of the best examples of that for me was when he's seeing the vision of him becoming evil, like his
Mhm.
possible future, and like
Yeah.
you like turn around once and it like completely different. That was super
Mhm.
cool. Like that's I'm sure games have done it. I haven't seen it
Yeah.
personally, but it was really
You
Cool. Or
can
even like the
functional.
you can tell they put a lot of their effort into the cinematic experience. Actually, in my
Mhm.
opinion, sometimes to the detriment of the
Okay.
gameplay, because bro, they do so many of those things where you walk up to an area and it force shifts your camera perspective to focus on it, like ooh, landscape. And I'm just like, okay, can I not look at like? Can I just go back to the free camera? Let me fucking go back to the free camera. You know, I've looked at this for like 10 seconds. It's enough.
I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but I love it when games take the camera for me. I don't know why.
Oh.
Any game they take the camera for me, I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I'm okay if it's a cutscene. If I still have control of my character, then please do not take control of the camera away from me.
That's why you didn't like Nier.
I think it's okay.
I'll put the force camera again the first time, but every time you walk back to the area, it takes it from
Mhm.
you again, and I'm just like, come on, like I've seen it, you know, like. But yeah,
Did you though?
honestly,
Did you?
they really wanted to ham up the
Mhm.
movie.
Look at it
value
one
of
more
it.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and I also thought characters were good. I think Cal was pretty cool. I enjoyed watching. They did a
Mhm.
good way of showing him from like an unsure like Padawan to like moving up to becoming a Jedi, which
Mhm.
I appreciated. He
I think
really
that's also a
acted
big
mature.
benefit of people who are new, because you get someone. It's the classic, you know, someone who doesn't really know that much gets
Yeah.
introduced to new stuff, and as a side effect, you as the player also get introduced to those concepts.
He learns all his powers, grows cocky, gets overconfident, goes through a slump, picks himself back up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hero's journey.
he's kind of vanilla. He doesn't really.
Yeah,
He's pretty vanilla. Okay, he's pretty plain. He doesn't really like have any significant character flaws or really any super interesting facets outside of his trauma. So yeah, again, really simple story and character.
I think it's a simple story done well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I liked Grease as well. I liked Night Sister Marin as well. She was cool.
I was saying the one with the most character complexity probably would be Marin or
Mhm.
Seer Junda, depending on it's debatable, right? I think a lot with those two, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Most characters are pretty. The pilot is obviously the practical jokester who plays
Yeah.
comic relief because he's the small, ugly alien. And then
I
you
wasn't too fond of him.
vanilla milk toast human protagonist.
He was okay. I think I liked him. I didn't actually love Seer that much. I thought her story was cool, but I don't know. Maybe her dialogue wasn't written as well. It's just very exposition-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was your mentor, bro. You just like listening.
Yeah, actually.
They all played their roles in like a
Yeah.
expected sort of way. So
Actually, no. The best character is definitely BD1.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
isn't the droid always supposed to play the comic relief cute role though? Like Grease plays the comic relief like rough guy role, and then the droid always plays the cute role.
But he was real cute.
He was very cute. better than BB-8.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, maybe. I probably
I like his design more.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The ball on
I like how they gave him legs.
Yeah, no, yeah, I like that.
I think they normally get legs, right?
No, they normally glide along the ground. In some
Yeah.
Cosmos droids.
Depends. Like C-3PO has legs.
Yeah, he has, but that's like a humanoid.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many droids, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
well, battle droids have legs.
The R series. It's
Oh,
more
yeah,
like
the
the R
in the game
series
too,
and
yeah.
the-
Yeah. Yeah, but like BB doesn't have them. R2 doesn't have them. It's a good crapshoot. There's a million droids. So. But yes, it was a unique design, but still very Star Wars, which I appreciated. I think there's not too much to say about the story. I think it was generally good. I talk about
I will
it.
say one thing. There is a bit of ludonarrative dissonance for me, and this
Murder
is
hobo?
like a story gameplay
Yeah.
hybrid.
Murder hobo?
Huh?
How much of a murder hobo
No,
Cal is?
they're sleeping, bro. They're sleeping.
No. I expect that for Star Wars. Obviously, you kill 3,000 stormtroopers, you don't bat an eye, and then okay, that's fine.
Not people.
But because they're just clones, who cares, right?
Yeah, but then you murder the entirety of the Night Sisters, like extended family.
The Night
Kill
Brothers.
all of the movies.
All of
They
the Night
attacked me first.
Brothers.
Me to say. Okay, but it's more like Star Wars usually, to my understanding, presents its characters as very heroic, and they're generally pretty. I know about the Stormtrooper Academy of like accuracy or whatever kind of jokes where Stormtroopers can never hit the Jedi, and like Jedi are invincible basically, right? Against like mooks. But damn, this game, fuck mooks. Okay, because sometimes there'd be like 3 mooks, and Cal would just be getting his ass reamed by like an electric shock baton, and I just be like, I don't feel like a hero right now. I feel like some bitch ass punk who's getting mocked by stormtroopers. Like it doesn't. There's some dissonance there where after like you're on like the 5th try against a boss, and you're just like, I'm not a hero.
I'm a bitch.
See, the thing is, this works in Dark Souls because in Dark Souls and all the Soulsborns, the game's always like, you're a piece of shit, you're garbage, you're nothing, and the game's whole buildup is, well, you know what? Fuck you. I may be a piece of shit, but I'm a determined piece of shit. So I'm gonna fight this boss 50 times until I beat him, and that makes sense. But in Fallen Order, when Cal has to fight the guy for the 10th time, I feel like, man, I fucking suck. I'm not a hero. I can't save the fucking Jedi Order. I fucking doo-doo.
Maybe they wanted you to feel that way, because Cal is he is undetermined, and I think Mitchell was saying earlier too, like he's not a full Jedi. He's not Luke. You're not playing Luke. You're playing you're playing this barely Jedi boy.
You have to shift your mindset a little to be a bitch ass Padawan because like
if I have a lightsaber,
the same like tiny kid in the flashbacks, he hasn't really progressed.
Same voice actor too.
I'm just saying, you go into a Star Wars game and you expect to be a hero.
You're like, this lightsaber lets me beat all of these stormtroopers, correct? And then at the end, do you remember they're like, this doesn't make you a Jedi. Did that hit you, Jeffrey?
I'm just let's say you played a Batman game and fucking Joker's goons show up level 1, they start kicking your ass, and you'd be like, this fucking sucks. I'm not fucking Batman. Like, you throw your batarang, it does 2 damage, and they fucking fist you and it does 50 damage. You're like, this fucking Batman sucks.
I mean, Arkham is kind of like that.
That's just the argument for like the dissonance between like early game Spider-Man or Batman in either Marvel Spider-Man 2019 or Arkham Asylum.
Superhero games make it easy for you to beat up mooks. They just scale up the mooks, like later. Like usually you have a pretty easy time beating up gangs of randoms. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But this game is more
From what I
punishing.
from Spider-Man 2019, it actually looked like you have to actually get understand the flow. From what I said, I didn't play it. I only watched people play it. From what I saw, it seemed like you actually have to kind of understand the flow of the system in order to actually get to the level of being Spider-Man, zipping around, not taking any damage. But like you go down in like 3 or 4 hits.
Okay, but let me ask you this: do you get staggered?
Yes. This is my main complaint with this game is that you can get chained CC to death, but that's that's for later.
Because if there wasn't as much stagger in Spider-Man, I wouldn't even feel that bad going down 3 to 4 hits. You know, I'd be like, okay, but I'm not getting like, because in this game, when you get your ass beat, you get your ass beat. You know what I'm
It's because they don't do the Arkham thing where enemies take turns. The enemies they're coming for your ass.
It's a different.
All of them are out to kill you.
Oh, this happened to Batman? I ain't shit. It's like, you can have Gotham. Fuck it.
It's a different game design philosophy for that.
Yeah.
But also maybe the difficulty. I think I played. Well, we'll get back to it in a bit.
Yeah.
But for I understand that. But also I guess for me, Cal is in the grand scheme of Star Wars not that powerful. Right,
But
like
we
Darth
have
Vader
the-
kicks the shit in.
Right, you
Obviously,
can probably beat like 50 stormtroopers, right?
not really. Like, you don't really generally see too many like, besides like Luke, like just slicing through people, or maybe in the third movie, right? They're killing droids, but when they're faced against like 10, 12 clones, they do die.
Okay.
You could say it's surprise, but
I mean, it's what happens to Cal's
Okay.
master.
So Padawans can probably like take 5 stormtroopers.
there's in the third movie, there is literally a Padawan who kills fights like 8 clone troopers who are supposedly a little bit better, kills like 3 of them and then dies.
Okay,
So-
I feel better now. I feel better.
And like the purge troopers are definitely like are supposed to be quite
We need
powerful.
to put a disclaimer in the description that if you play this game, you know, you're getting a bitch ass Padawan. You ain't getting no Anakin.
you
Are
ain't
the
Luke,
Purge
you ain't Anakin.
troopers the enemies that had the purple energy?
Yeah, like
electricity
the black
swords?
armor.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are new to this game as well, I think.
Did anyone have a favorite cinematic sequence? Not kind of lore related. Like there were 2 that stuck out for me that I really enjoyed playing through.
One of the big one that stuck out to me was in the planet with the Night Sisters. When you finally get all the way to the temple, and like you walk into the temple, and then you meditate at that spot, and you wake up from the meditation, and then suddenly you're in a mission.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
That was
That was pretty nice.
With your master, yeah. I really love I had 2. The end is amazing. I actually think the end sequence of this game.
Oh,
is
the
very
entirety,
cool.
yeah, the entirety of
With
the
Vader?
sequence was
Or
fantastic.
Or
just the whole level?
entire part leading
Yeah,
up
the
to
level
Vader is
super,
great.
Yeah.
But for a cinematic experience and everything, and like, but before that, when you get to the planet with the Wookiees, I was like, this is sick.
Oh, the AT-AT?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
swim and then you're on the AT-AT and then you're like,
Nice.
oh man, what's happening? And you're like, dang, this is crazy. Yeah, it was cool.
it's really different and very
Uh-huh.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, just cool cinematics.
I guess mine's was, as I mentioned before, the I like them all, but the vision of his future I thought was
Mhm.
really well done from a cinematic view, and then I actually liked the when you're at the top of the tree and the Ninth Sister is chasing you in her ship and you're like going down sliding down
Vergara?
and there's like shooting
Oh,
through
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
No,
and
I was
stuff.
talking about the Shiloh bird.
Yeah, the nice bird,
Yeah.
not the evil bird.
Yeah, the nice
The evil
That
bird
was
fight
cool.
was a pretty cool cinematic. you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah,
that was cool.
that
too.
was a cool
Yeah,
one,
I
too.
like that one too. No, this game actually like, so I played like all the Tomb Raiders for the moderns. Like they're cool, but like this game like really hit it out of the water with the badass cinematics. I think. I think it's because the setting allows you to be a lot
Yeah.
more free and creative with it, but it just really got you in there. I was like, wow, this is cool. Like it's a cool game. Definitely one of the cooler ones I played recently.
I think graphics in general are
It is a
Like,
visual
visual,
spectacle. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, on cinematic moments. It was also, I forget what happens. I believe it's when Cal builds his own lightsaber, and as he's building it, you can slowly hear it building up. I believe it's the Jedi theme or Luke's theme.
maybe.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
wanna
it builds out.
yeah.
It like plays. I believe it's the Jedi theme. That happens, and then also when Vader first shows up,
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's the mist, and then you hear the breathing,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
as the breathing happens, you hear the Imperial March coming on. You're like,
Mhm.
oh god.
Oh god. Yeah. And then on his entrance too, like the way he just fucking yeets Seer.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, because he literally, it's the punching down type of thing. Like, how do you build up a bad guy, right? You just spent, I don't know who got, I got my ass beat by the second sister.
Oh yeah,
doing it.
she's tough, bro.
And then
He's the
and
hardest
then
boss. Yeah.
so it's like building someone up. This whole time you're like, second sister, badass, and then you fight her, you finally beat her, and then I love it too. They fucking Vader comes in, just kills her, off Seer super easily, and then he force chokes you. You're at like low HP with like no stims, and you're like, oh shit, are they gonna make me fight Vader right now? And then it's a run sequence. Very cool. I love that.
No, I didn't think they were gonna make me fight Vader. I don't think it was
know.
gonna end there.
You thought he was
he's
gonna
gonna
die. Dude, that'd be so funny.
That would have been ballsy. But
And that's how the Jedi fell.
They would have pulled something where like, oh, but they like got the holocron out, so for their sacrifice, you know, like.
Oh, like Rogue One? Yeah.
I didn't. You just spoiled it for me, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, never mind.
No, it's okay. Okay.
yeah, I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had that spoiled for me because
Oh, did you? Oh,
I knew, yeah. Because
I
like
didn't know.
I saw the clips like Darth Vader in Fallen Order like 3 years ago, so I knew he popped up. But
yeah.
was still-
'Cause
it's
I think
still
that's
cool
what
to
builds
see.
it.
Yeah.
That's what builds the amp too. Because I just was not. They didn't talk about Vader at all.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
they talk about
game,
Vader
so you
all,
just-
and then you
Yeah.
finish off you finish off the second sister, and then you're standing there, you're like victorious, and then it pans to like the red smoke, and then you're like, wait,
Yeah.
why is it doing that? And then you hear the classic sound effect of Darth Vader breathing, and you're like,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not actually him, is it? Because for me, I didn't realize this was where it was in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I wasn't fully sure either. Yeah.
it's post. I think it's 5-6 years after Episode 3. So Vader is very much doing his thing. Overall, on the music point, I remember thinking to myself, I thought they were gonna do the Force theme, but I'm not sure they did. And just my complaint in general with these Star Wars things is, I don't know if it's like licensing or what, but they never play the actual themes from the movies. They have Star Wars sounding music, and I'll give them credit, like it felt very Star Wars when you're playing like the background music. But you know, I just want to hear like that main theme or that Force theme at some point. Like, I think there was one instance in the Force theme they played like Anakin's Dark Deeds in the Order 66, and then the Imperial March. So there was,
Nerd.
like 3 times when they had any of the movie themes, and I just wish they would do more just to like really hit it. But it might be a license.
But when they
That makes
use the
sense.
themes from
Yeah.
the films, it like really punched.
yeah,
Like
Mhm.
again, I know it's like the Jedi themes in there. I forget if it was specifically when Cal's finished building the lightsaber that it starts crescendoing to it, because he's like officially stepped into the role as.
yeah. It's either that or when he gets knighted, I think.
It might be when he gets knighted. Oh yeah, that and then the mentor knights him with the
The red
fucking red
saber.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, do you want to borrow? He should be like, do you want to borrow mine?
I do appreciate. I'm always the man of voice actors.
Mm.
There are a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
I recognized. Cal's master is played by Travis Willingham.
Oh, really?
It took me a little bit to hear it, but then I think at some point in one of the extended scenes with him, I think it's when you're escaping and running away with him, I heard a little bit of Karax from StarCraft 2 without filter. And then
That's very
also in
specific.
the planet with the Night Sisters, I believe Matthew Mercer.
Oh, I
Plays one of
recognize
the-
his voice.
Yeah, he plays one of the. He has like the lines for the Mooks.
Oh.
I think Liam O'Brien is in there too, and I know Yuri Lowenthal, voice of Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2019, is also in there among the Mooks.
Who's the I thought the bad guy on Dathomir was famous too. The Terran Malicos, the shirtless dude, who's the
Oh.
boss. I swear his voice was familiar, but maybe not.
I can look it up while we keep going.
And
Yeah.
then I think the main guy, actually, he's not a voice actor. I've actually watched Shameless, which is
He's an actor.
He's an actor on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because this was important note. I think this was mocap because when I went to go look up the voice
Oh, yeah.
actors.
No, it's definitely him.
Yeah, it's just them.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually mocap very well.
And yeah, they're very good. Good voice acting overall. Like,
Yeah.
It was very good.
Oh, actually, the one mocap and voice acting failure is when young Cal is put in the escape pod and he's like crying and he's like, and it was like that kind of took me out of it. Like, the mocap is like really weird, and it was hard for the guy, I think, to play young Cal, but like he was like screaming and it was not super great. I don't know if you guys remember.
That was probably the weakest voice
He's
acting.
like,
in
and
the
I was
game.
like,
like the
Yeah.
meme.
but other than that,
Yeah.
good across the board, I think.
So basically, right, the game you can build your own lightsabers. Very cool. Reminded me of Disneyland as a child. But we're gonna just kind of go over those lightsabers and look at how each other built them. We'll start with Jeffrey since his name was at the top. Classic. Hey, yours looks pretty similar to. I have
yours looks
clothes.
similar to
But
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
felt
it's a lightsaber.
It's a
in
lightsaber.
character,
Mhm.
Cal probably would keep most elements of his old master's saber intact. So I kept the
You.
I kept the what is it called? The top, the
The
thing,
emitter?
the emitter. And I kept the switch. And then the bottom part is Seer Junda's emitter.
Mhm.
I think, as another homage. And yeah.
You did the
I like
RP
that
build, I
grip. It was
see.
vertical. It connected the two parts. Some of those grips look fucking doo-doo. So
Yeah. I see you're a cyan man. I am a cyan man as well.
yeah, blue is a little too basic, I needed
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
but he's not
You know.
evil, so you had to keep it blue, And then yeah. Oh, and you go alloy metal because I don't think Cal is really like he doesn't strike me as a very flamboyant kind of guy. So basic.
On this tangent of this, I didn't like the cosmetics that much in this game.
Really?
Nope. Cal's cosmetics were pretty lame.
Oh, his?
Yeah.
Like the ponchos?
Like his,
Yeah.
yeah, the ponchos. Yeah, that was a tangent though. Yeah, and here it is for here. Cool.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice. Should we go to the next lightsaber? This isn't quite the same as when we did it for Evorion. There isn't as much
Not as
That's
quite as
variety.
much.
as much depth to it, but this is my lightsaber for Cal. I didn't RP it as hard as Jeffrey. I just did something I thought looked cool. So yeah, I
This is
don't
my
know.
problem with this is my problem with a lot of the sleeves right here. I'm a
Mhm.
bitch at you.
You're a bitch at me?
It's a
Damn, dude.
chonker of a sleeve.
No. It's a chonker. It's not only that, but when you look at the saber, where the fuck do you hold it? A lot of the sleeves, it's not immediately apparent where the sleeve is because it's just a bunch of random pieces of junk sticking out,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You get a good grip using the force, Jeffrey, alright? So
Like, where the fuck is the sleeve? It could even be like if you flip the saber over and use the part with the brown, what the emitter is, the top emitter. I could think that could be the sleeve because that's like the rubber part where you hold it. Like,
Maybe that is where he holds it.
no. That's the top part of the emitter, though.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know where Cal holds it, but I assume that he can get a good grip. They're pretty light. I think. Okay, but
yeah, they're pretty light.
yeah, I'm rich, unlike you guys. I had the premium content. If you look
Oh,
on
I
the right, for
I
that
had the
material.
premium content. I just chose not to use it.
Everyone has premium content.
Dang, I thought I was rich. I'm
No,
sorry.
everyone has.
I'm not rich. I'm poor, just like the rest of us. Okay, and this is Cal holding it. So see, there's where he holds it right there. I guess he does hold on the brown.
He does
part.
hold it pretty high up.
Yeah,
Yeah, he holds it. He
There you
holds
go.
it where it would be when he splits it for the single
yeah.
saber.
So it's on
And
that.
then
It's around that brown part.
And then I think he slides towards the middle when he's has the emitter on both sides active in combat.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's double handed.
yeah. I just didn't like how long it looked with some of them. Is why I
It
kinda
looks
stayed
long
with
once you get
this.
the double saber. Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah.
thought it was kind of cool.
Which-
I like
which-
the extra long handle.
Mm.
It's cool until you think about how it's weighted as an actual like weapon. You're like, the fact that the majority of the mass is behind your hand.
Actually,
Yeah.
wouldn't like all of the mass be behind your
Okay, let's
hand?
not get too into that, guys.
It is a space sword, after all.
Okay, here's Mitchell's. Very white and regal, except for the rusted bit. But
I went I was basically with Jeffrey.
yeah,
the-
yours looks
the
very similar to
Thematic.
Jeffrey's.
Well, we have the same emitters, which I think are the most.
Which I think I also have those emitters.
But
Yeah,
I also
I'm
really
alone.
like Gyro Topals just as a design. It's not a usual lightsaber design, so I ended up keeping it, and it was thematic. And then yeah, I thought I would use Sears, and then I like.
I like Seer Jundas because it looks like a pommel, and then I like Topals because they have the vertical separation with the horizontal of like the bottom parts. You know.
I like that, and then I thought the white looked cool with my yellow.
Right here. Yeah. No, it looks sick.
How about you
All
chose the
it's
Dura-
fun.
Man,
You
none
chose
of
the
you
Dura
guys,
Blast
none of
coating,
you guys
right?
turned on the dual saber for this.
Oh, the back end. Yeah, yeah,
Wait, Mitchell, can you go back? Can you go back, Mitchell? That's the Duraplast coating, right?
Yeah.
yeah. That's
I was like, who the fuck colors their saber plaster?
It's,
Hey,
it's
Mitchell
to
does.
remind them of the clone troopers that.
Yeah, no, I think of the clone troopers too.
I'm just like, this is like a poor man's lightsaber. They couldn't afford real metal, so they just use plaster.
I actually think that Duraplast is actually Stormtrooper armor.
Oh, really?
Like
It's
canon.
it's the armor of my fallen foes.
Hey, that's pretty cool actually.
It's
Kinda
pretty
fucked
metal. Kind of fucked up. A little bit, a little bit. Okay, and then we'll get the Terry's. Whoa!
So gold.
Oh man, this guy
Oh.
blew in.
Terry's cowl is a show off.
Yeah, Terry's got us a show.
It's a murder hobo and a show off.
He probably got grills on his teeth. You know?
Dang.
He got diamond chain.
Despite, oh, you didn't do the top? We can't see
No.
what it is. That's okay.
I think
But
that's the
the-
Magus one.
Mm,
I think that's the one that he ends up making.
mm.
Yeah,
think the
no,
back- I
this
think the
one
bottom
looked
is-
too much like heresy. You know, it looked too much like it's not allowed for Jedi to do
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Did
Well,
you
I
all
think
do
it's based
Seer
off
as the bottom?
Dathomir.
Yeah, it looks
You
cool.
guys all did Seer off bottom. Oh,
Yeah.
None
See,
of
I
the
didn't
ones
like
looks that
how,
good
like-
as the bottom pommel, to be honest.
It's because I that's why mine was kind of equal because you use both sides, so I didn't, because at a certain
Like
point it's
I
like,
was thinking about going symmetric, but then I was like,
yeah,
you know, you
I
very
want
rarely
symmetry.
see an asymmetric lightsaber, so I thought it'd be cool.
You were saying
No,
that the lightsaber is too long, but Sears is the shortest. That's also why I liked it.
No, the one I had was pretty short.
Yeah.
I think Kevin's was actually the shortest though.
I
Terry
also
seems
thought that
pretty
having
cool.
like the same sleeve thingy on both sides or making it symmetrical just kind of made it look ugly.
Damn,
Yeah.
okay, I see how
Made
it
it look
is.
ugly. And you can tell my cowl is a show off because if you go to the actual show off.
Oh, you had the double. You had the double. Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh.
you did yellow. That's funny that we all
You're
picked the
cutting through
same.
the
Yeah.
table. Watch where you point that thing.
Yeah, dude, you're burning your
Destroy the table.
workstation, dog, and your lights up, dog.
His cow is not very smart.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. Suffered a lot of brain damage on the way.
He
brain
honestly probably
damage.
did, bro. Yeah. Okay, well that was fun. Yeah, these lightsabers were. I appreciate that they put it in here. It was definitely like a thing. For
I
the
appreciate
fans
it,
for
but
fun.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't do
Actually,
anything.
Whatever.
I liked it. I was like, man, I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I think it's cool to build your own lightsaber, and like,
If you look a big part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
actually was like very much looking forward to opening new boxes and being like, ooh, I can make a new lightsaber, which is
Really?
I think as much as you want out of a cosmetic.
Hmm.
But
I personally didn't care, but I also knew that Star Wars fans probably cared, so I was okay with it.
I am. That's interesting. Like I thought boxes and stuff were fun. The lightsaber ones were definitely the most looking forward to. I feel like Cal's cosmetics were pretty bland. And,
Yeah, I
Whoever came up with ponchos,
yeah, ponchos were
fucking
yeah.
ponchos suck. I'm sorry.
They like the base Cal looked way better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
the
no one use
base cows
ponchos?
look better.
I did not
And-
use.
Nope.
I like the
poncho.
poncho. I thought it looked
I
kind
think
of
they,
cool.
they put a poncho on you and I immediately took it off.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm the
immediately
only one who
took it
used the poncho then. I thought
No,
the
I
poncho
think
was
okay.
the
cool.
jacket looked better. It looked more practical from a battle
Yeah.
like stance. And the other thing is, a lot of the poncho patterns were just not that great.
If you look at my show off, I thought my poncho was pretty decent.
Dang, you're gonna make me edit that back, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit me like that.
I kind of felt I did feel bad about not using the cosmetics. So whenever I went to
I had the same BD skin.
I think I had
my problem with the unlockable system is that they're all just cosmetics. So usually you probably just find your favorite and that's all you use, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of boring. So like I wasn't really excited. Like so what I ended up doing was every time I went to a new planet, I would like pick outfits that matched the environment for like camouflage. Just so it felt like it mattered that I was getting these fucking
I really pretty much ignored them, and then sometimes I would find a lightsaber station and I'd be like, "Oh, cool, let's see what else I can do now." That's
so some of the things you could do with the ship are pretty funny. Some of the ship colors are
I forgot you could change the ship's color.
Some of them are
the ship
horrendous.
colors getting pretty garish. It is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I just blinged out my cow.
Yeah, I mean, it is EA. They could have made us pay
Yeah,
for
that
it.
was the thing. I was like, I'm glad this isn't like
Maximum
paid
pain.
DLC or something. But I thought, as far as random free cosmetics as like a carrot at the stick, they were fine.
Yeah, they were fine.
Carrot at the end of the stick.
And it's pretty interesting. We'll segue, but the game was balanced pretty well throughout the whole thing. Like RPGs have pretty hard scaling issues. I do have a few complaints about some of the systems, but like overall, they did a good job of keeping your power level there because you couldn't really gain that much by like farming stuff. I feel. Yeah.
There's no stats, right? Or very few.
Yeah, there's no stat.
But there's like health and
Health.
Yeah,
level.
there's
that
some
much
health
either.
and stems,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I guess before we
Exploration.
jump straight into gameplay, what
it's
did we?
mainly
What
sorry,
difficulty
yeah.
did we all play on?
One below hardest.
Me as well.
the one below hardest.
I played on the hardest.
I
course.
tried to play hardest for like the first 2 hours. I was getting butt fucked, and then I fought that like the first named Froggy on the first planet.
Oh yeah.
Oggdo
Oh dude,
Bogdo.
Oggdo Bogdo, bro.
Oggdo
Oggdo Bogdo.
Kicked my ass, and then I was like, "Fuck
Dude,
it, I'm not
I
gamer
destroyed
enough
him.
for this."
No, I got my ass beat by him, but I literally was like, I think I could come back to this, but I'm not. I'm gonna beat your ass right
Yeah,
now.
I
Oggdo
died like 10
Bogdo.
times, and then I was like, "I'll turn it down."
I looked at them because the difficulty tells you like what the sliders change and how much more harder the game gets. I saw the jumps. I was like, okay, easy, medium, hard, and then I go to the hardest. Yeah, the parry meter goes to like
the parry meter went from like
Oh,
here,
it's-
it went like easy, medium, hard, hardest.
like listen, listen.
Yeah.
I like a finger up there, but I don't like ball and torture.
I'm all about that. Hit me with that.
I
want
couldn't
your whole
go all
fist.
the way. No, I invested my time too much for that. So one second hardest.
No, that's fair.
But I had the same thought as you for the fucking Oggdo Bogdo. I think
Oh yeah.
I went back to them like 5 times. And I was like, gonna beat this frog ass.
Really? I didn't have
And
too
I
much
thought
trouble with him.
one of the chests is one of those Metroidvania unlocks, so you can't even.
Oh, yeah.
open. I was pissed.
No, he gave you I think he gave you an essence or something.
Yeah, it's like
that's
an XP thing.
fucking red chest. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
nah. That's
I'm
how
trying
this
to remember.
is gonna be.
He's the first.
He's like in a little cave.
I know he's like, you get off on the first planet where you find BD1, and it's
Yeah.
like directly to the left of the ship, right? In that little
you
arena
have to walk
place.
on the pipes. You have to go through. You jump over this little platforming
And
section. I
you
remember
cut, you
it.
cut
I
through some
remember it well.
you cut through some wires because you have to cut through the wires every single time you fight him,
Yeah, it's
and then he's there.
Oggdo Bogdo.
that was a moment I was like, fuck, man. I thought I was gonna play Elden Ring the next time I played Dark Souls, but then I went through that shit and I was like, fucking go jump, fucking cut the wires here. At least there's no fucking enemies taking away my Estus flask on the way.
Okay, sorry Terry, we'll get back to yours, but I literally in my notes wrote fuck Oggdo Bogdo, first boss beat my butt. And then in the sub notes, all of his attacks but the normals one shot, and I felt the frame data. And it was like, and then, yeah. I was
On
like,
hardest, I hate getting one shot, so that's eventually why I turned it down. I was like, fuck.
He
dude,
two-shots you on the second hardest. Much better.
some of his normals do only 2-shot, but like, yeah, some of them definitely.
His
The rest
lunge,
Oh.
dude,
one-shot you.
so
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
far
yeah,
range.
yeah. Dude, those ones are the Dark Souls classic, I think, where you hear the don't panic roll, and then you
And
roll
you
too
panic
early,
roll,
and it's
yeah.
like, God fuck, bro. But
hated that.
the second sister actually had a one shot that was rough. Like one of her attacks was a pretty rough
Force
one-shot to
Train?
get. The Force Strain was a one shot. Yeah.
Was it? I don't
Yeah, on
think I
the
got
hardest
that one.
for me it
Just
was
one shot
on
the second
hardest. It was like a
hardest.
2-shot on.
Yeah.
It was
So
brutal.
it didn't even matter. I had all my flasks, but if I got hit by that, she flashbangs, she hits you with that. And I was like,
Did you max out your life?
I got as much as I did. On the skill tree, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know with exploration,
Yeah.
Yeah. But the game was more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't expect it to be
I didn't
actually
expect
difficult.
I did not expect
Yeah.
that.
I expected like
hero game, kind of
Mhm.
gameplay.
Yeah.
like Tomb
But-
Raider and Nathan Drake. Those games on
Yeah.
hardest difficulty usually aren't bad still. So
Yeah.
Like you die a little bit, but this game, I didn't. Once I turned it down, I didn't die too much, but like you still die a good amount.
You have to learn
Yeah.
this game, and in
Yeah.
that sense, it's like Dark Souls,
Yeah.
where
you feel like a Jedi master at the end.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's nice.
I
Like
mean,
when you're
yes.
fighting through everyone.
and you have to learn like dodge timings and
Yeah.
frame data.
Yeah, I mean, they do the typical thing that all of these types of games,
Mhm.
God of War style, like the games do, where like one of the last challenges is a giant multi-wave
Yeah,
thing, where if you
classic.
die at the end, you have to redo the entire fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Oggdo Bogdo before we get too far, Terry?
I don't remember having too much trouble with him.
Okay, we get it. You're a gamer.
He's a real gamer.
Okay, I didn't spend that much time on him. I probably spent like 5 or 6 tries on him, but it was just the frustration, where I was
I
like,
think I had, like-
I did not sign up for this today.
I think 2 tries, 3 tries.
Mhm.
It's
Sure.
like,
It's also
goddamn
because, like,
hours.
I guess it's like, because this is like one of, in terms of like video game genres, the fact that like this falls in line with things like Onimusha, God of War, like kind of things, which are like, it's up there in terms of like my favorite series that I like to play.
Mhm.
I felt like I got used to it pretty quick. There were still
Yeah.
moments that like pissed me off. There's definitely like frustrating bits.
Yeah.
I know we compared it a lot to Dark Souls and stuff,
It's
but
not-
personally, I think being used to Dark Souls and Bloodborne, that actually threw me off, because in Dark Souls you do a lot of blocking, and in Bloodborne you do a lot of dodging. This game is, I never played Sekiro, but this game is a lot more like Sekiro from what it looks like, which is a
Parries.
lot of parrying.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably why. I mean, you get used to it, but I still had personal gripes with the systems. It's not as smooth as a FromSoft game. I'll say that it's not as smooth. Some of there's sometimes inconsistencies. There's definitely input delay, which is the most frustrating part about it.
Did you guys
Some
play?
input delay, animation lag on like parrying.
Yeah.
In like a FromSoft game, it just brings it up instantly, right? But in this game, like sometimes Cal will just take 3,000 years to do something. Like I beat the guy on Dathomir in 2 tries, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I got hit by all of his fucking rocks, because the fucking force push has the longest input delay in like
force
The-
push.
You have to do the
World.
toss.
yeah.
I dodged them. But
I
yeah,
dodged
they,
them.
I tried dodging them. I still
No,
got hit.
You have to
you can
sprint.
dodge the 1, but when he does like the
Sprint?
5, I swear like one of them will hit you.
No, you can dodge it.
No, I just suck.
I don't really. I'm
I just
honest.
suck,
I
I
don't really
guess.
remember much about that fight.
I that fight. Okay,
That fight was
so-
pretty whatever.
Like, it was a
I-
pretty fight. It's just I
like that
quit
fight,
trying
yeah.
to force push the fucking rocks because they glow
That's like
blue,
the-
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I tried and I was like, no, that's not working. I did
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Because there's mad input lag on that.
Yeah.
I felt like the parries overall were pretty good for me. Like I felt like the
You have to
parry
get
windows.
It wasn't like
Yeah.
super snappy, so you
Yeah.
did have to like preempt it a little bit. But yeah,
It's
What's
not
his
I
name?
agree with that.
expensive as I was hoping. It wasn't terrible,
Yeah.
and I did get used to it later. Like, I think around Kashyyyk, but
Yeah.
definitely not as snappy as I would have preferred.
What's the guy's name on Dathomir?
Terran Malakos.
So, life thing. I appreciate on this game. You skip the cutscenes automatically. if
Oh
you've
yes,
already seen them.
yeah, that was so good.
But so I played this on the Stadia.
Uh-huh.
First time playing a game on Stadia.
Wow.
Probably wouldn't do it again because I have a gaming PC. I did it because my little brother played it. He already bought it, so I was like, why buy it again? But for the most part, Stadia was pretty good, but specifically the day I did that fight, it was like crashing. And if you crashed after, there's like 3 cutscenes leading up to that fight. So like you do the master, you do his cutscene, then you do the cutscene with the sister, or the
Right.
and then you do the cutscene with the guy. It takes like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I did that like 4 times because like it crashed 4 times while I was doing that fight. And it like just that added frustration to it, I think. But like eventually, like if you sit down and meditate again, it saves. But usually when you respawn, it doesn't save. But it skips the cutscenes for you.
Yeah.
So I had to go through that, and it's like kind of a far walk. And I was like, bro, this is kind of whack. And I remember getting very frustrated at Stadia that day.
A little bit of the Dark Souls frustrations where you go to a bonfire, and then when you die to a boss, you have to go back, you have to fight enemies on the way there, and then you lose health fighting enemies. But you know, that's okay. What annoyed me was when they put a boss right after like a... The game is very cinematic, so every action that's not your standard move has to have a nice little cutscene, fully animated, custom animated. Like every single gorge that you shimmy through is animated differently because they all have different obstacles in it. Wow, look,
that was a Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
This is the 15th little thing you gotta shimmy through. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Oh, he's jumping over the barrel because there's a barrel this time. And I have to do that every time I go to this boss fight because there's a gorge there, so I have to watch his ass go through the thing. And it takes like 15 seconds. It's a very minor thing, but it's just...
it's interesting because I know in some games they use it to hide load screens, but I don't know if they're hiding load screens.
No, the reason... There's no...
But
overall of that.
Overall, that was the whack part of Stadia for me, that section, because I had to watch the cutscenes like 3-4 times, and you can't skip it because they want you to watch it.
They want you to watch it. No skipping, bitch. We on this. Watch it.
So they were so smart that you should never have to, but
You can't. Another gripe: you can't skip the boot up, the loading.
I forgot to write that down. Yeah, I hate that.
The very beginning.
Much.
Yeah, you can't skip the Unreal Engine 4 at the beginning.
Unreal Engine, EA Games, Jedi, Fallen Order, main menu. That was my complaint with Ruin King. Ruin King had the same thing. You couldn't skip until you got to the...
I think it's actually getting more common. I feel like more and more games are locking you out of the...
Probably. It's dumb. It's shouldn't.
So dumb.
I agree, but it might just have to be life now. But
I've rarely encountered games that did this until now, until we started playing this. Like, almost all the games we played, you can skip straight to the main menu.
I mean, it could just be something that devs are trying to get more... the studios.
Because nothing what says devs trying to get more exposure than EA.
I will say Mitchell's point with relating the combat though, going back to the gameplay, pretty good. It's simple. It's like the story kind of. It's pretty simple and pretty easy to grasp. So it just comes down to timing and execution. There is a little bit of depth to it because of the horizontal progression of the skill tree where you get more moves. Earlier Kevin was saying that the scaling was good. I think this is largely in part due to how simple the skill tree is. You don't get vertical power. It's mainly just there's some aspects of it. Like you get max health, max force, and you get 1 damage upgrade, I think, at the end of the lightsaber tree. But for the most part, since it's all horizontal, it's pretty easy to balance the game, right? So
definitely play a big role.
But it adds a little bit of depth, but don't expect a lot, because a lot of the moves are not necessarily useful. Like, only certain moves will be useful in certain situations, and some of them almost straight up feel gimmicky, like throwing the saber.
Why is the heavy attack use force?
I love the heavy attack.
Actually,
I use the heavy attack a lot when they're stunned, because that's the highest damage you can deal.
When you start learning like where you can use it, it's like very satisfying.
But there's some that are definitely gimmicky. Like, I don't know where you would ever use the saber throw. Like,
I used it.
That's for the flying droids.
Damage
and
upgrade.
I think you can.
Is that better than just like pull though?
It's cheaper.
Isn't it the same? Aren't they all 1 bar?
Once you get to the dual-sided saber, Cal throws it further.
Yeah.
So you can
and also, I think it goes. It goes through mobs sometimes.
Yeah, you can hit
throw.
multiple.
If they can't block, it goes through them.
It's good to get like chip damage on bosses
Okay.
or like bigger, or even keep
I just
their
did it
like,
for style. I
stamina.
don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and-
Personally, thinking about it just didn't feel. I mean, I just probably didn't figure it out then. But I personally never really use it because it just felt like you would always get more damage using your other force options. Like if you would stun them with like a push, for example, that's guaranteed damage like on a lot, you know. So
Sometimes I use it too to get the guaranteed new life regen back, because a thing that I was annoyed at was if they're shimmering yellow from you need to hit them, it covers their heavies.
Yeah, it covers the
Oh,
heavies.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a
Oh,
problem with that
really?
on the second sister.
Yeah.
I would just kind of like run up to them,
Yeah.
just try and hit them
Oh.
really quick. to get it off.
unblockable. Yeah, that pissed me off. Yeah. No,
No,
but I would
that-
hit her and get it over with.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the second
Yeah.
sister, is that your first contact with her happens after like 3 or 4 rotations of her, at least like 3 or 4 things of her moves before you actually did like physical damage to retrieve it if you fought her normally.
Oh,
And
really?
during that,
Oh,
she
yeah,
would sometimes heavy strike, and then you wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
tell if it was a heavy strike because a
To
lot
be-
of her animations without.
Oh, you guys
the
didn't
distinguishing-
no sell her on a force push, huh?
To
'Cause
be fair,
I would start
yeah.
the fight. I would walk in. I would just push her and hit her 2 times, and that's just just get it back.
To be fair to them, I guess there's an audio cue. That's how I was able to still do it.
Like that you
Like there's a
right?
No,
yeah,
but
there's a heavy attack
you-
audio
you-
cue, but it's still
Yeah.
poorly visual
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just push her, which would stun her and hit her twice, which would get it back. So
Oh yeah, because at the end game, the strongest attack you can do, I want to say, is actually the dual lightsaber on the win,
the split
yes.
saber.
the split
definitely the
duel.
strongest move you can do, but it has a lot of animation time. So
No, that one, the one with the twin is
The
super fast.
when your dual
No,
dual
when you're-
lightsaber does the up,
yes,
right.
I know.
Yeah,
What I'm saying
yeah.
right click, left click one, right? Or I don't know. You guys
I
play
played on
controller, right?
I played
I played
I
on
play on
controller.
controller. Yeah.
It's the top right most of the lightsaber tree. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
it's
it
the
can't-
one. It's the
You
one
get it for
where Cal
You get it for
temporarily
free.
splits the sabers and does a
Yes,
move.
yeah, I know
That
what you're
move
talking about.
changes.
One,
That move changes depending on whether you're in
Yes,
single
I-
saber or dual saber
Yeah.
mode.
I'm
dual
aware.
saber mode.
Isn't
Yeah.
I thought that one had the longest animation.
I think
Like,
it was the
it's
fast.
damage.
It was faster than your strong attack.
It's about
Then
the
Omega
same, but
Slash.
it came out.
The total
Both parts came out
duration-
faster than a double clicked like overhead.
Oh, but the double click overhead costs double the force. So I'm comparing
Yeah.
a single overhead to a single. Yeah, so that does more damage for the same amount of force, but it takes longer than a single overhead. That's what I mean.
I thought it was faster, but I'm not sure because when I was fighting the second sister, I would
But I found it hard to make use of sometimes. But obviously,
I hated that.
That's
It
the
was,
only way I was able to beat the second sister.
well, I basically did the same thing. I would stun her and I would use a
Yeah.
heavy move on her. So yeah.
I didn't stun her. I never.
I just fought her
I should've
normally
known
with
that
parries
there
and
was-
stuff.
Yeah.
You can actually
Even then-
weave in your heavies sometimes, just like
it's like a stagger.
just,
but the
throw
thing
it out.
about the stagger is
Yeah.
every other boss, when you stagger them, they have a predefined fixed number of hits before they get back up.
Yeah,
So
hers
it's
too.
always your best option to do a heavy force attack to maximize your DPS.
Yeah. Because I was dodging her heavies, and that's when I was weaving in. 'Cause
Yeah.
on her
Second
heavies,
sister's
I dropped it.
second sister
Or parrying her 'cause you're like,
stagger count is 2.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
the only
it's 2.
one that's 2 where you can't complete the full light combo. All the other
Mhm.
ones have at least 3 where you can complete at least a single light combo, except for her. It was annoying at first, but then once you realize that's what's happening,
Yeah.
it gets better.
I mean,
hate
it's cool.
Oh yeah.
I hate that they relegated the fucking dual wield behind special moves, dude.
You just wanted to do
Yeah,
it.
you
I just
wanted
wanted to do it, dude. When you go up to the top of the tree and he finds the random lightsaber workbench that's up there and then
Yeah.
attaches the sabers together, I was like, is he gonna 2 sabers? Can I finally
Oh,
dual wield?
you get
And
out
then
the
it's
tree?
There's
Got it at
3. I
Dathomir.
looked this up or later.
I got
but
on
there's 3
Dathomir,
locations. Yeah, you can get it.
I got it
I got-
actually at the very beginning of the game.
Because you went
because
to Dathomir first,
I
didn't you?
was like, the game really wants me to go there, but I'm gonna go with Dathomir first. And that's
Yeah.
I got my ass beat.
Dathomir
I
right
got
after,
my
Zeppo,
Jedi. Yeah,
and I got it same as you. Yeah.
yeah. My Jedi was forged on Dathomir.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's where I learned how to play the game. And like after I cleared Dathomir
Which
and
one's
getting my
Dathomir?
ass beat at the very beginning, it's the last.
It's
Last
a
place you go-
planet.
For
Yeah.
some reason, they let you access
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
You can't really go too much of it. It's where the Knight Brothers
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
okay.
because you can't.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. You can't go to the temple.
Yeah.
Because
'cause
there's
you need
probably
climbing
some
claws,
you need a
right? Yeah.
power.
You need
probably
the double
force
jump.
pull. Double jump and
You
force
need a
pull.
double jump.
It just it was strange to me. It was like, yeah. So I
Yeah.
went to Zepho, then I went to Dathomir, and I was like, why'd
Yeah,
they
me
let
too.
me go
I did that.
here? Because I got the thingy, but then I was just like, this seems kind of out of place. These enemies are clearly like stronger than the other enemies I face,
Yeah.
and this has no real immediate plot relevance. And this game feels pretty linear up to this point, right? It's not like we keep comparing it to Dark Souls. So there's the only thing I'll say is relevant here are the bonfires and somewhat the combat.
Yeah.
Like it's very linear. It's like more like Mass Effect in terms of cinematic and like mission
It's not
design.
a Metroidvania, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it has
like,
Metroidvania aspects, but
it has a lot of
not really.
Metroidvania aspects, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like why am I allowed to go here?
Yeah, but
It felt weird.
yeah. I actually cruised on the game between after clearing that part until I think fighting Gorgana. Then I got my ass beat again, and then
Gorgana?
fighting
The,
the big evil bird.
Oh, Gorgana.
And then the guy on Dathomir, and then the second sister. Those were my struggle points. A complaint.
Actually, does anyone remember? There's like I don't even remember what planet it is on. There's like a temple, and there's like 5 goats that you have to kill.
Oh yeah.
I would die because I only had like 2 things, and like I wanted to fight my way through all the goats so they wouldn't fuck with me. But I lost so much health on every goat that the last one would kill me. I died like 6 times to those fucking goats.
It's because they do the back kick on you.
Yeah.
The back kick? Yeah,
Okay,
you
I
have to
can do
know,
it.
dude. You learn. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but early game wildlife was much fucking harder than Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like easy shit. Fucking Oggdo Bogdo was like the hardest enemy for me until like. Actually, was he like? Did I try the moves on Oggdo Bogdo until like the second sister?
I actually think that in terms of it's because I played on hardest, but I definitely tried the most on Oggdo Bogdo.
Because you're getting used to it. I think legitimately I tried.
No, because you're getting used to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
you're
beat all the legendary beasts, right? And the the one on Dathomir I beat in the first try. Like, you got used to it and everything. Fucking Oggdo Bogdo was probably the hardest thing for me after the second.
Yeah, because you're learning the systems, I think. Because aside from those bosses, certain group situations were hard for me, I think. Like, I think when they threw like 2 spiders and like a couple other things at you, like sometimes it like
earlier
pretty rough.
Saying about I think it's related to the stun locking. Like the chain stunning is that's when you pull out the double saber, which is made for that, obviously. Once you get heavy with a double saber where you spin out the thing around you, makes things
it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
I hated any of the creatures with command grabs.
Yeah.
It was just like I understand the importance of having command grabs, but like all of the animations took forever.
Oh yeah.
Which was just really annoying.
But I actually didn't have that much problem with like staggers and groups until I played like the fight challenges at the very end in like very small spaces.
But the thing that annoyed me about stagger is that when you get hit stunned, I don't know if this is true or not, because this is just like negativity bias, right? But like it feels like when you get stunned, Cal takes 10 years to get up. And then
you're right.
An enemy like a stormtrooper, he'd be like, oh, and then he gets up.
Block again.
Yeah, the masters get hit once and they just right back up.
So that's the issue. There's a part where 3 of them, and you break one of their guard, and you're trying to kill one, and then the other one bots you. She's like, okay, gotta block this, and then the other one gets back up immediately, and you're just like, okay, well, fuck.
Yeah, the game it does a decent job of making you use your tools, I think, too.
Yeah,
but like
I think that's why parrying is the most important thing in this game. Up until the second sister, which pissed me off design-wise, by the way. I'll talk about that later.
Parry? You didn't feel like you needed to parry her?
No, you didn't actually have to parry. You could you don't get any benefit from parrying second sister.
There's literally zero benefit. Yeah.
No, don't you drain her?
You break her shield.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that to break her shield, though. You can just force push her.
That breaks her whole shield?
It makes it so you get 2 hits in. That's all that matters.
I did not know that.
I just thought it was fun to like parry. I felt like
I was parrying. Yeah,
I was parrying just because it did it fast, but you didn't actually need to parry.
I was parrying.
You never need to technically.
Well, it's like very little because usually in other fights when you parry, some of the boss fights, if you parry the sequence right,
It opens a window where you can attack, right? Yeah.
yeah. The biggest thing with Second Sister's window for that got opened from parrying was so small. It didn't really. I
It
don't know.
wasn't even a window. No. I want to finish this thought, sorry, before I talk about the second sister, my issues with the second sister pairing, which is that the game is very parry focused because when you're surrounded by enemies, the only way that you can reliably take them out one by one is by parrying a dude and entering the invincible animation as you're backstabbing or finishing them off. So what you do is you parry them one at a time and you kill them off one at a time. The game is very parry focused. In most bosses, when you parry, it gives you a nice window where you get your like 3-hit combo in. You got
Those
some good
animations
damage
are
in.
invincible, by the way. I I don't think.
No, I was definitely
they
invincible
are.
No,
during
they
a
are.
lot of-
Definitely
I,
invincible.
I
Yeah.
definitely there's like a slower like parry or counter animation that's
No, when you do the counter and you attack
When
them,
you do
it's a
special
finisher.
attack,
When
yeah.
it's a finisher, you go invincible. And for a lot of the stormtroopers, since they're one hit, it's a finisher. So what you do is you just parry auto once, and then that takes one of them out, and you're invincible during that. Then you go to the next guy and parry him and auto once, and then then you don't have to deal with any of the guard breaks or anything because the parry will break the normal dude's guard right in one parry. But no, I was just saying, for most of the bosses, you get a nice window where you can do damage after parrying, so it feels like parrying is relevant for like all of the game, up until Second Sister. I tried finding the Second Sister the normal way, and it was much harder than what I ended up doing, which was like I think my 5th or 6th try, which is just waiting her out. You wait for her to do a really heavy move. She has a delay. You hit her a couple times, right, as she's recovering. If she ever tries to dash at you or do a force push or something, just push her, and then that staggers her. You hit her twice and you run, and then if she ever starts doing a saber throwing thing at you, you just keep dodging that and avoiding that, and then just wait for her to do a heavy at you again. Just dodge that and then hit her. I literally did not parry once on like that try, and I won because all the game suddenly just becomes a dodge game for you because parrying does nothing. If you parry the basic attack combo for her is 4 hits, right? Because she has like a really long basic attack string. I remember I would parry the first hit and like the second hit every time, and I would try to attack. It would just do nothing. It was literally functionally worthless because she would just continue. It was like she had fucking hyper armor. Where she would just,
That's where you just learn that's where I learned like if parrying
Sidestep.
does do stuff because it keeps you close, and then
Your
once you learn that
guard.
her combo is a
Yeah.
4-hit combo, after you parry or dodge the 4th hit, because I forget if it's a heavy or not.
it's not a
Then
heavy.
that opens up a
basic, it's
window
full
for you
basic.
to attack.
Sometimes it's a heavy, I think. It
I
No,
think
it's a
yeah, I think
basic into a heavy. Yeah.
And also parrying
keep
her
your guard
lights-
meter up too. Because
uh,
your guard meter you would
yeah.
break under her shield.
parrying her lightsaber throw actually enters a dead man's volley.
No. You guys are getting it wrong. I'm not guarding her basic attacks at all. I'm actually just staying out of her distance entirely. I'm just dodging right on the edge of her distance the whole time. I'm running circles around her, and as soon as she goes for that heavy, so I'm not using my guard at all. I'm not blocking. As soon as she goes for the heavy, I dodge that, and then I just hit her. See, I'm actually doing zero blocking, zero parrying. It's all in force pushing and all in chipping her. Like, that's what really pissed me off about the fight, is that parrying her felt pointless. Like, because it doesn't gain you anything. When dodging is just way more effective. Whereas for the most of the game, dodging is actually usually the inferior option because you're not getting damage in then. But yeah.
I think you just found a way to do it that made it a lot
Yeah,
easier.
I'm
'cause
I'm interested to see your
yeah.
thing of your gameplay, see how many windows you actually managed to hit.
You can hit all of
Because
them.
I feel like if you weren't right next to her when you sidestep, you had to sidestep her heavy to be able to hit her. I felt.
Yeah,
you had
it's
to be like
really
right
easy,
next to
though.
her the
Some
whole time.
These are really telegraphed. They're pretty easy.
Oh no, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt like you had to be really close to her when she made the.
Yeah,
heavy,
'cause
so
she-
you had to be
She
blocking.
takes a long time to get out of her. Her recovery is really long, so you have plenty of time to just at least do the sprint attack, right, and then get your extra hit in. Sprint attack does a lot of damage too, so yeah.
The sprinting is. Ever since I started switched to fight stick, I hate games that have L3 as sprint.
Sprint.
pretty classic sprint though.
It is,
Yeah, it
but
is
on
classic
specifically on this fight stick, it's actually really annoying to click while moving. I'll say parrying her, like I was saying, parrying her lightsaber throw, one of them.
Yeah.
Not
It
the
does
one where
damage,
she circles
doesn't
it
it?
around her a bunch. It enters dead man's volley, which is the thing from the classic thing from like Zelda games, like Phantom Ganon in
Yeah.
Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time, where you sort of play pretty much a back and forth like tennis game. Yeah. Tennis
I
game,
think
and if you
yeah.
actually time it right and you actually parry it enough times, it opens up. Actually, I think it it causes her lightsaber to hit her and then opens her up for more. And gives you a window.
I think that was the only thing I parried, and sometimes it was because I didn't have enough space to dodge. So I would parry the bouncing blade, the throwing one, but yeah, other than that, I think I just never parried, unless I had to, right? Like it was in a bad spot. But usually, if I had to, I just hold block because there's no point in parrying a basic attack combo.
I just had fun parrying.
Yeah, me
Or-
too.
I mean, I didn't find the solution you did, so I felt like it was okay.
But I mean, I see where you're coming from.
yeah.
I didn't do that, but I mean,
It just pissed me off because the whole game is parrying gets you these benefits,
Yeah.
and then the final
Yeah,
boss
that was definitely the mentality I had on my like 7th or 8th try. It like felt, I definitely felt what you were saying. Like suddenly the system feels like it's rewarding a different style of play than it has been. Like I agree. Like in the second sister fight was probably the most I ever did the tiny sidestep.
Yes.
I thought
that
it was,
one-
for me,
that
it
was
was,
what was rewarding.
most of the same way I was playing, but I mean,
It was the only. So the game was, yeah. So I had trouble with 3 fights. Right, the first one was Oggdo Bogdo. The second one was, it was I don't know if you guys fought this legendary beast. It's the one on Zepho, the feral Jotaz.
yeah.
I kind
Pretty
of
sure
cheesed that
it's
one,
the fat
though.
one, right?
Huh?
Is it the fat thing?
Yeah. It's the monkey kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's big fat monkey kind of.
Is it
gorilla.
in that weird like engine room looking?
Yeah, it's like a circular room with a central
circular
column.
room with like a
Yeah.
triangle thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it killed me like 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
It took me 2 or 3.
That fucking goat's
It
actually
also
probably
only
killed me.
took me 2 or 3, but I just remember getting smashed by him because he has a combo that stun locks you into a death. Basically, you get hit by it and you're just dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I think it was quote unquote difficult because I got smashed when I fought him, but I didn't take that many tries to beat him either. And the third one was the second sister. I think, like I said, I think I probably spent the most tries on second sister at like 5 or 6. And
Yeah, that's about.
that was
went
the
up to, like-
boss where I had to sit down and think about what I was doing wrong.
I was
You
at,
know,
like
like
11.
everything. Like even the Pharaoh Jotaz, I was like, I ended up learning how to cheese it. You can actually get him stuck on the central column. You run around, do a sprint attack, and then you just run back. You want him to do an attack, and as he's recovering, you hit him, and then you run back, and then you just do this over and over again until he dies. But for the second sister, I actually had to really examine what I was doing, and it was kind of annoying once I realized that pairing fucking sucked.
Actually, I think the albino Warshock was pretty hard for me. The spider on Kashyyyk.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the spider.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
It
boss
spawns. It
spider.
has minions, right?
Yeah.
I know why that one was easy, and it's probably because you guys kill the stormtroopers before getting to it.
Yeah. But even then, you don't take that much damage because you get really good at killing those stormtroopers.
No.
No, they fight.
No.
They fight.
I think is what he said.
Yeah.
Kill one stormtrooper, run to the spider to activate it, and then I ran out when the stormtroopers came in, and they weakened her to like a third.
Okay.
And then I went back and I was like, ha, bitch.
I think just for me, one thing that was cool is that I liked having man-sized bosses. I feel like generally in these types of games, it's always like a giant monster or something. But it felt very cool to be like dueling someone and them being like up to having some of your similar like abilities and stuff. I thought that was really
The lightsaber duels were badass.
Yeah.
You felt like a
felt-
Jedi.
It makes you feel like a Jedi.
Yeah.
To the Soulsborne games, the first boss is always a big ass monster, and the last boss is always some tiny dude who whoops your ass 50 times. The man-sized boss is always the scariest.
On leveling and stuff, like I think Terry's mentioned it, he wishes he had dual wield. I bet you they thought about it, but they wanted to keep it simple with just 2 stances.
Yeah.
They also picked the iconic one,
Terry's face of
Dual
disappointment.
Yeah.
They're lucky my
I've
second
seen the
favorite
dual
weapon
staff, right,
is the
Mitchell?
bow
That's like a
staff.
big popular thing, right?
Yeah.
So what? Sorry.
The sword staff, isn't that like a popular? Like, yeah, that's like more famous than dual
Darth
wielding,
Maul,
right?
Yeah.
I would say so.
Dual wield-
There's
Yeah,
no
Darth
dual
Maul,
wielders in the movies.
Grievous
The
is
Clone Wars
possible.
doesn't Doesn't the girl?
Grievous is a quad wielder.
It's not a movie.
Yeah, but you ain't Grievous, son.
He was my favorite to play in Battlefront 2 for a reason.
I think I get why, and this is the issue in a lot of these types of games. But like, I don't like when skill trees aren't like skill trees. They're like a matter of when you get something, not what you get.
This game isn't a true skill tree. It's not really an RPG at all. It's more like a skill well where you will fill it up eventually at some point.
I actually didn't finish it, but
I didn't finish it either. But you pretty much get all the stuff you want.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah.
No real choices to be made. No real sort of any kind of decision making regarding like opportunity cost or
Which it's fine in this genre. It fits because you're not building Cal, right? Like you're playing Cal.
You're playing Cal.
So like, it's fine. I just never liked those.
Actually, I will say I don't like it personally because I do like to. I like optimization. I like games where you can build your own thing. But I think they did it well, especially in this game, because in terms of story gameplay connection, Cal is relearning how to do all these techniques. And they also did those segments really well, where, how most games, the tutorial is like really obnoxious and obvious. This game had really nice, really great tutorial that tied in great with the story, where Cal is having flashbacks to all of his training sessions. It just makes sense, So even if I don't like skill wells, I kind of liked what they did with it at least.
Your Ludonarrative Dissonance was appeased.
Yes, it was immersive. I should say it was immersive.
Did you guys get bopped by the bounty hunters?
Oh yeah. Actually, I feel bad because I died, and then they don't take you all the way back to the beginning if you get far enough. So I never truly beat it.
Are you talking about the one that kidnaps you to get?
Yeah, the one that kidnaps you to the arena.
Yeah.
I almost beat that bounty hunter, and then ran like when they had a sliver of health. I randomly got hit by the stun attack, and then it's like, oh
no, he one shots you.
Yeah, he one shots you. I was like, this is kind of unexpected, and then they take you to a place, and you're like, where the heck am I?
Yeah. That was kind of
what pissed me off about that first bounty hunter is I got her down to half. And I swear to God, I thought at the time the game was fucking trolling me because I was coming back from fighting the feral Jotaz. So I had and I was at like 75% health. And I was so pissed. But
so
because I think I beat the first bounty hunter, but then there's like 3 or 4 on the planet because they really want you to go there.
You fight another one in Dathomir too.
Oh yeah.
I think when you come back with the robot.
I'll look this up later. They have random spawns, and they're not guaranteed to spawn. Like they spawn in set locations, but there's a chance, and there's different ones in all these locations. There's like 1 billion locations.
You're talking about
not guaranteed.
Kevin, you're talking about the pair, right? On Dathomir?
Yeah, the pair.
There's a bounty. There's a bounty.
I'm Kashyyyk as well.
It might be guaranteed, but the point is that they all have set locations, and there's a lot. So basically, they're supposed to be like late game mini boss enemies, which is quite cool. I thought.
The one that stuns you and takes you to like the arena that you fight, that's not intentional. I thought that was narrative.
That's
intentional. They first start appearing after
robot.
that. That one is
yeah.
There's like 3 of them, and they cover like all the ways to the Mantis, I think. So you have to hit one of them.
Yeah, that's okay.
And then I think actually I remember looking this up too. You can actually reach them if there's ways to get to the Mantis without fighting them. People have cheesed it. And then when you get to the Mantis, they're just like, cool, all right, let's go. And then you just go to Kashyyyk.
Yeah. One of I know Terry was like, he doesn't like the command grabs, but a sister of the command grabs was you go on Dathomir, you have your Jedi duel, you have and then you're mashing the button.
Oh, yeah.
But with the second sister, they made it extra long, and I felt that.
Yeah.
I was like, because I think they made hers the longest, and I'm pretty sure it's like a set time window of how long you're supposed to mash.
Yeah.
But of course, the monkey brains in us, you just mash as fast as you can.
No, there was one time I was like, I'm just gonna mash kind of slow, and I lost. I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh really?
It was one of the earlier ones, but
I think
that's funny.
In general, all lightsaber boss duels were the best part.
I agree. Yeah. Combat wise,
It's probably what you want in a Star Wars game.
Because I think
they put the most focus in it.
Most of the fights that involved fighting someone else wielding a lightsaber,
Star Wars,
a lightsaber were the ones I struggled the most. I struggled with the Ninth Sister because, like I said, I got the dual-sided saber at the top of the tree, which is where you fight the Ninth Sister. So I thought it was supposed to be, you get it here at a random bench at the top of the tree. I
You're supposed
still
to
don't
use
understand
it.
why. Yeah,
No.
you're supposed to
Yeah.
use it, but no,
No.
you're not.
No,
Because
You
it's technically
can.
worse, yeah.
You can.
no,
Use
it's,
it.
Actually,
it's pretty bad
not
in
very
boss
good.
fights. In,
No, it
Yeah,
is
it's
pretty
pretty
bad.
bad.
boss
Yeah.
fights.
It has
Well,
one good thing, which is the dual blade split does a fuck ton of single target damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you
But-
don't get until way
Yeah.
At the
later.
very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
actually, you know what's funny is that my very first time against the ninth sister, like her first phase is single, and then she switches to double. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do double too.
Yeah.
It's thematic, it's cool. And then she beat my ass because it's like 10 bosses.
That's
Yeah.
no
Like,
damage.
She's like, oh, I can do that too. And then I turned it on, and then it was not good.
Witness me.
That was fun.
Yeah, because that's your first like actual. Because you fight the second sister at the beginning, but not really. That's like your
Yeah.
first lightsaber duel, I think,
You
with the
have
ninth sister.
It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting
No,
that
because
most of
but before that you do fight second sister for the second time.
Yeah, but you don't.
yeah. No,
Oh,
that's,
no,
that's,
no,
that's,
no, that's
what you-
after. That's
no. I
after.
think it's on. I think it is a real fight. The one where you like get
Second
separated by
sister
the
2
wall.
is you technically barely lose. You dodge out of the way, and
Yeah.
BD1 closes the door.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
the
yeah,
door,
yeah,
the
yeah,
force
yeah.
field.
Yeah.
And then that's where she
Yeah.
reveals that she's
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's
but
her
that's when
face
you're a
is.
bitch. That's when you're not confident in taking her down. So
No,
you
that was
play
literally
like a
distance.
pansy.
I've won the fight so hard. I think
Really?
the time I beat her, I didn't take any damage, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
but because this is early in the story, Cal's on the back foot, and I'm like, bullshit.
You're like, let me kill her now. Why are you holding me back, BD?
Let me kill my mentor's old student. And then it revealed it was the mentor's old student, and I was like, oh.
Actually, looked up what happens if you beat her in the first fight in the prologue. Nothing happens. She just stands there in T poses.
Oh, really?
I think they didn't expect anyone to actually beat her.
Mm,
I mean, you're generally not good enough with the mechanics to actually beat her at that point.
yeah, if you go back.
It
Yeah.
felt like I could have. I got her to like half, so I was
I got
like,
pretty close.
yeah.
Mm.
So then when she
did not.
started,
Yeah,
when
pop up.
I was kind of disappointed. I thought I was actually gonna get to fight her, but
Well, you
The,
have
um,
enough with her.
The
I was in the moment. I
inter-
was disappointed. Yeah.
An interesting thing on that, on these games, a lot of times the hardest part about playing games on the hardest difficulty is the tutorial. That's usually a
Mhm.
lot of times the hardest parts because it's a long stretch without a checkpoint because they don't
Yeah.
expect you to die.
Yeah.
So like it's like you have to go through trial. But this game actually made it very easy because they had checkpoints like in a lot of places leading up to it.
I still
It's-
died a lot though.
No, I died, but I
On
was
the
like, oh, I
train?
have to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. But like a lot of times I feel like
also didn't have that many enemies. It was mostly climbing.
yeah. There was still a decent amount of enemies. You
that
saw a
one
good amount of
train car with
troopers.
stormtroopers. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember I died in that train sequence because I didn't know where to go, and I was so confused. I was like, where am I supposed to go? And I kept falling off the train, and I figured out,
Yeah.
oh, you're supposed to drop down and climb along the side.
Classic
killed-
AAA video game train
Yeah, at
sequence.
the end of the train car, you know how there's a stormtrooper that keeps jumping down from the roof, and you're supposed to do something to stop.
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to parry
so
him.
just kept killing them, and there was like
Yeah,
this. I probably killed 50
I did the same
of them.
thing.
There was like a legitimate mountain of bodies. And I was like, there's something very wrong.
You didn't read the thing on the right that said
Yeah.
parry?
Yeah, I think that was it. I was just like, why can't I can just kill him, bro.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up on combat, did anyone play the combat challenges at the end?
I did not.
No, I think
one, and I
honestly,
was
as
like-
cool as the Darth Vader sequence was, I think the second sister fight kind of, I was like, I'm good. I don't really need to experience
the
more of this
exact
game.
same thoughts. I played one and I was like, bro, I'm coming just off second sister. I'm still pissed that I'm apparently not supposed to parry her. So, okay, you know what? I'm done. Like for now.
I played a little bit of it, not a huge amount. They're pretty hard. Like,
Yeah.
I if you like the gameplay at all, I'd
It's
recommend
not
them.
that hard because there's stars that they
Yeah.
give you for taking no damage and
Yeah, I don't know how
things
you do
like
that,
that. Yeah.
or even without
The-
without healing, like impossible.
I think it was a solid system overall, but I didn't love it that
Yeah.
much. Like it wasn't bad. It was pretty good, I
It
would
was
say.
an
but,
okay
like,
system.
Yeah,
Definitely had its
but I
pain
didn't-
points.
I didn't feel then after I beat the second sister, I was like, nice, I'm done.
Yeah.
I
Well,
This
didn't
was good.
because they had the like a build your own, which was cool. You could actually do like AI fights if you
That's
wanted
fun.
to.
Yeah.
So let it be
That's
known
nice.
that Terran Malicos is actually a stronger duelist than Second Sister. If you make them fight each other.
Oh,
That's
of
cool.
course you did that.
Yeah.
Of course you made the
A
bots
totally
fight.
accurate battle simulator. Oh, okay.
Mitchell just makes his own cock
Yeah,
ring
we
in
should just
every
play tabs
game.
next.
It's fun. It was pretty cool. But actually, there's Inquisitor Cal. I wanted to know
Oh.
if any of you fought him. Literally impossible. I couldn't even land a hit on him. So
Oh no.
if y'all want a
I don't
super
think I did.
super difficult boss fight, you
I think
can
I
fight Inquisitor
randomly
Cal.
clicked on one and it put me up against the second sister and the ninth sister together, and I was
Oh,
like, yeah, okay, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
no, they're very hard.
Yeah. I only like it when
Go peek in, you know, but
there's a reason for my suffering. You know, I don't just suffer for nothing.
you can get
I need
BD1
to
skins.
they give you skins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Damn. Okay. God damn. I'll beat it up.
Yeah, I think it's a cute thing, and I
Yeah.
did like their editor, like
I was
you could
surprised
build
that
your
that was the DLC and that there was no like story DLC. Like
Yeah.
you would think that for how well the game did, they would have done at least one story DLC. But
I
Nice.
imagine
Working on the
for a
next.
mocap game like this, developing a
true.
DLC is actually probably kind of hard
that's true.
to the
Yeah.
same quality as the base game.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking, but I mean, I was just thinking like the game is 3 years old at this point. I would have thought maybe
I would expect
one.
like one of them, right?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's either one of them or it's like they're probably spending that effort on the second game.
On the second
Right.
one.
I
Yeah.
have read explanations that theorize that it's because this was a very experimental title for EA to see if single player games were profitable, you know, still in today's market.
Mhm.
And so they're going to put all that effort into the sequel. And this is just the first title, yeah. See where it goes.
Yeah, because I imagine it's not as profitable as other types of
Yeah.
games, but they
Yeah.
probably
No
can still do
FIFA.
well. Yeah.
Games as a service kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Or not games as a
Yeah.
service, like a continual like
Yeah.
it's out of EA's
games as a
typical wheelhouse in
Yeah.
terms
Mhm.
of like what they're known for meming
Yeah.
wise of like microtransactions up the wazoo.
I appreciate it.
No, it was good. It was a
Yeah.
complete title, well polished, well
Yeah,
Which
polished.
is why
actually.
it's hilarious that one of the Steam reviews was literally like, "This game is good enough to make you forget that it was published by EA."
Well,
Facts.
I will dispute the well polished a little bit here in that my game, I think when I reached Kashyyyk, my game crashed.
Really?
Just wouldn't start. I had to repair the files and
Oh,
then
wow.
reboot my computer and it still
What?
wouldn't work.
Dang.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the file just exploded, like it corrupted or something.
It's
Interesting.
always one of us.
I
Yeah.
went on Origin, then I had to do it on Steam, restart computer,
Mhm.
everything, and then
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did, but it worked again.
Mine
Well.
was because of Stadia. I felt maybe the game did crash on the Stadia server, and maybe that's why it was bad.
I
But
think did I have one crash desktop? I might have had one. I don't even remember.
yeah,
But there's at least a lot of save points, and the game is pretty robust about its own
my
autosave.
light went out.
So
It ran out of battery.
It's fine. You can still see you.
yeah.
Yeah, I think polish was good, and I think the other like pillar of their game design was exploration, which I'm not huge on exploration. I'm
It was
more of an
okay.
action guy. Yeah, but I thought it was good. And
I love some of the
Nice.
environmental puzzles.
I think it
Yeah.
was.
yeah,
I think it was a side thought personally.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
a side thought, but it was
yeah.
nice. I think.
Yeah.
I feel like because they wanted you to like go back, like
Oh,
Metroidvania style,
man.
right?
Yeah.
we talked so much about the combat, but I want to talk about the puzzles because some of those puzzles pissed me off.
Oh yeah,
Oh, there are a few.
there was
fun
two
puzzles.
that I'm thinking of, but
Okay, see, for me, and I imagine this for a lot of people, puzzles are fun when you have to figure out the solution, and once you figure it out, that's it, you're done, right?
Yeah.
But
Get the
there's like
execute.
two puzzles where I know what I'm supposed to do. But the
You're
way
just not enough of a
you do it
gamer.
is such a pain in the ass. I fucking hate you. Like, did you guys get the ball chamber on the first area of Bogado?
No. I did not.
that one. Dude.
Wait, which one? Oh, on the bottom
where it goes
you have to
around the
push-
circle and you have to push in the middle.
Oh yeah. That one was whack. But you get a health
Push
stem,
them
right?
Up that fucking ramp to get in the hole.
Yeah. That one. I literally was like, I'm gonna try this 3 times. if I don't get it, it's not worth it, and I'm
Yeah.
leaving.
Which
That's
one
literally
is
what I
this?
said.
No, don't you have to do it?
You don't have to.
No.
It's just a stim
No,
canister.
I think, yeah, it's a stem can.
No,
at the
there isn't.
bottom.
Maybe we're
Wait,
thinking
no,
of a
you're
different
you're thinking about the one in the
This is
rooms.
one. Yeah. No,
You're
there's
thinking about this is the one under the
a
plane.
one in
Under the
Bogano.
mantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was under the mantis. It gave you a stem.
one. Oh, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, up the ramp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you had to hit
Yeah.
at an angle where it
Yeah.
would glide up in. Yeah,
Oh, I did that one. Yeah. Oh.
yeah, I did
I
do
didn't
it.
do that.
I just
That's
remember
pretty-
doing it and I was just being like, everyone knows what you're supposed to. This is not a fun puzzle. You're just making
Yeah.
it push a ball 15 different ways until it hits the right way to go.
That
in.
one,
Like,
that one wasn't a puzzle though.
Yeah,
That one
that-
was like
that was like a physics thing,
execution. Yeah,
a little bit
It was
of
like-
a puzzle because you do have to kind of figure out like it needs to go in there. Yeah, but like
yeah, you have to have at least like 2 IQ.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, the,
no, you know how I got so pissed? I just kept pushing the ball against the slot and slowing it in time as it was hovering.
Oh yeah, that's
I
what
would
it is. Yeah.
spam push it in until I spam pushed it into the thing without actually getting the stupid angle to get it to go around.
I did not do that.
I eventually hit it.
I will admit I did try to do that.
With
though. I was like, fuck this.
Because I was so pissed.
You know, actually, the first one fucked me because I put them in the wrong order. And then it
Oh,
would
the
just
rope,
go.
the one roundabout, right? The
Yeah.
spinning
And I
ball?
thought you had to
Yeah.
like time it so it would shoot
Mhm.
in, but you actually had to turn it off and like hold it in the middle and then shoot it out. But I spent literally like 20 minutes trying
I
to
actually
time
did
it.
time it. That's how
Really?
I did.
I couldn't do it. I tried like for 20 minutes.
I actually did it really weird. There's like 3, right? There's like the left and
There's
right in the
2.
middle.
It's the one where you're like slowly opening up all the wind vents and eventually it causes the ball to go around the rectangular room.
Yeah.
And the solution to the puzzle is there's 2 wind vents that push against each other that cause the ball to line up perfectly in the center.
There's 4 vents. There's one that pushes it to
Yeah,
the
there's-
reset vent. There's
Yeah.
one left, one
Oh,
right, and one
yeah,
middle,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
I thought you were talking about a different one.
okay. So what I did was I just turned them all on. So it
That's
would
what I tried
always
to do.
reset. Yeah. And then it would go left and right because the left and right vent would push it side to side.
Yeah.
It would shut off the right vent and it would cast slow on it. And then I would
Mhm.
push.
I
and
tried
then
doing that too.
Push it.
Yeah.
But it
I think I
fucked.
did a similar
It
thing.
failed.
Yeah.
And then you shot it and then you just shoot into the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could
I
act.
did this.
Yeah, that's a lot smarter. The way you did it was a lot smarter. You really just turned them all
Oh,
off and
it
just
took
left the
me
left.
fucking forever to figure it out though.
Yeah.
And then
But-
there was one I had to look up.
Mitchell.
Like
These puzzles, Mitchell.
Which
You're
puzzle?
You're
I
0 and
can
2
res-
right now,
I
Mitchell.
can respect the roundabout puzzle because again, you kind of just have to think about it.
Yeah.
But I
Which-
hate
which-
the ones where
which
you know
puzzle?
what it is.
For me,
Yeah.
it was the Venator and the electrical. When you're in the ship and then it's electrified and there's like a spinning wheel.
You
Oh,
know,
you have to
that
cut
one
the-
you just have to you cut the wire, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to
I
cut
did
the
not
wire.
know the wire. I didn't think it was cuttable. It didn't look cuttable. I thought you
Really?
had to like wall run, and then I was like stuck. I was
yeah,
in the
that's-
wheel, and I was like,
I have no
I
idea.
know.
what you guys
After I
are
just
talking
tried
about.
everything and none of it was working, and then I saw like, wait, why
Yeah.
is that part of the water extra shiny?
Yeah,
And then I
that's
looked
what I
up. I'm like,
did.
oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
I mean, puzzles
not
are
a
hard
pu-
because it depends. Yeah, that's just a perception check.
No, no,
Yeah,
yeah, that
what
one
you're
is like if
talking
you don't see it, but then there's also like a bunch of other moving parts that make you think it's this complex. Like you have to set the wheel the exact right way so you can get up onto it and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
jump over onto the other side. But
Yeah.
nope,
No,
you just
I
have
feel
to be
that.
able to see the wire that's dangling into the water.
also that one's like, that's not a mechanic used anywhere else, like cutting like powered wires.
You
cut
the
things to
real
get through.
shortcuts.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Like,
like, that
one
one's
had
out of
the-
the way.
That one also had the
I
other
agree, I
extra
agree.
benefit that you could see into the previous room.
Yeah.
So
I
it
thought,
kind
I,
of
thought,
had.
I thought it was optional, so I tried to backtrack, and then I got stuck, and I had to go all the way back too, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Puzzle
The
design
puzzles
was.
were challenging. I would say.
They were okay.
They were not like super challenging, but they were definitely at points challenging. So
Some
they're
of them were
fun.
okay design, and
Yeah.
some of them like were not that well.
yeah, some
best
of them
designed.
were. Some of them I actually liked even like, but some of them were just
Mhm.
tedious, and I hated
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
I feel that.
Like I thought the ball one right after the roundabout where you had to slowly open up the room. Terry was saying that one. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought.
The one where there's like shooting up
No,
ramps
I
and
was
stuff.
I was originally talking about the same one you were talking. The one where it's literally just a rectangular room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you're guiding the ball around. You have to set up the ball in the middle and then
You know
push
how
it.
the room right after you eventually reach a point where you have to get 2 different balls and like 3 different
Yeah.
balls and push
Yeah,
them
yeah.
onto
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really cool too.
That one's
one's
pretty
cool,
cool, yeah. Like those
Even
are
though
fine.
it wasn't really much of a puzzle.
Yeah, that one really wasn't much of a puzzle either, to be fair.
That one was just like push the ball in the one place that moves.
Yeah.
But it looked cool.
I will say,
Oh, that one room, which is I think like the first or second time you find a workbench. It's like that super simple room with the lightsaber
Oh.
workbench, and there's the
At the very
essence right
beginning.
above it, and then there's
Mhm.
there's the thing that you can electrify to move the tether back and forth in the small room. How
Yeah,
do you get
yeah,
to that
yeah.
essence? I never figured it out.
Yeah, I think you had to have a double jump.
Oh,
I think it was a backtrack.
Oh, in
yeah,
in
I never got
Kashyyyk?
it either.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Kashyyyk.
Yeah, you had to
yeah,
backtrack.
Yeah.
I think
the first
no.
time
Once you get the reverser, I think you can do
the
it.
first time
Oh
you
yeah. Once you get the
overcharge-
reverser, the
The
line
zipline
reverser.
reverser. But yeah,
by
I
the
tried.
time you get the
for-
line reverser, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's
Go
Don't
ahead.
you have to go back
There's-
after you get the line reverser? So then that's when I did it.
I probably spent like 15 minutes in that room because I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
puzzle, there's something to this puzzle.
I
see. It's right.
I left
there.
Dude, I left feeling like a loser too. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm just dumb. I didn't know how to get this damn thingy.
No, and then you circle back a second time, like before you get the line reverser, and you're like, wait, can I solve it?
I think
now?
you get double jump, and you're like, oh, now I got it, and you still can't do it.
Yeah.
I just,
that was-
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really backtrack the planets
I
until
didn't.
like it
I
told
don't
me
know.
to. Then I got everything.
I didn't.
But
Oh, I never backtracked.
I think I backtracked once.
I pretty much
I
just
think
played
to
the
me,
story
it
out.
was just it was like
Yeah, me
whatever
too.
because it was just cosmetics.
Yeah,
So it was just like, if I really want it, I can go back and get it, But like,
I had like
Mhm.
85% to 90% on every planet, I think. But most of that you just get through being
yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
I think
careful.
yeah, this game, like, the exploration suffered from how streamlined it was because there weren't really any goodies that I would have been that excited to find. I guess
Yeah.
maybe like an Estes flat, a stim.
a more
But, like-
linear or a more traditional RPG progression would have been,
Help that.
would have
Yeah.
helped that, I think, because.
Or like,
But
yeah.
the greatest rewards were those stim cans, man. Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was good shit.
How many did you end with?
7.
I had 7.
What?
I had
I had 3. I had 3 until like the very end, and I had 4.
You can tell these
Yeah.
boys ain't explorers.
Yeah.
I just didn't honestly feel that compelled to.
if I
Yeah.
saw a shiny thing or if I saw a place that was like, oh, there's a rope there, I can
7
get
is-
to
7
there,
is
then
your-
I'll do it. But
you're freaking
otherwise, I was
rich.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way to find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Good
did
stuff.
because I'm a completionist.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
I
I'm
said
not even.
I-
I'm
yeah,
usually
that'd
like
be
not
mine.
completionist at all, but yeah, I found 7.
Yeah. Okay. I guess on the stim thing though, did you have what you think was the most broken perk? Because I definitely had one that I thought was far better than everything else.
Was it stim
I want to
reloading
guess, I want
force?
to guess. I might know.
Yeah,
what it
stim
is.
reloading force was
Yeah.
clearly better than all the
Actu-
perks.
You know, that's when I used a lightsaber throw. Is because like, oh, I'm gonna stim, and I would just like throw out my
Yeah.
lightsabers, use up all my force before stimming.
I don't think I ever actually picked that up.
So we're clearly taking out the obvious option of increased lightsaber damage.
Okay,
right?
yeah, actually,
'Cause,
that's
Yeah,
yeah.
Lightsaber damage and HP, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think stim force and precision evade. Precision.
Actually, never used precision
was
evade.
pretty nice. I did like precision.
I
evade.
accidentally triggered it against Second Sister a couple times, but I never went out of my way to try to trigger it.
I always rolled. I'm a roll boy.
I eventually
Really?
learned. Yeah, that's the saying. The Second Sister fight was where I learned how to do side steps
No.
instead of full
It,
rolls.
Yeah, exactly. Same. And those side steps with
Yeah.
precision evade really, really helped
Mhm.
a lot.
In a lot of ways, yeah, because I think that's what helped me have the window bigger when you hit her out of her strong attack. But then I don't know. In a lot of ways, the parries at the beginning of the game, you're like, oh yeah, okay, and then you get good at parrying, and the precision evade is when you're like, yeah, you dumb shit. Yeah, I got you. Because actually, sometimes it's actually better with the kick on certain enemies because it opens a window. If you precision evade kick, you like get a window.
I don't know about you guys, but I took the kick as like my first thing because that sounded so useful,
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never
yeah,
used
yeah.
it.
and I never
What
activated it.
Oh, dude,
I knew
that was-
I knew it was gonna be
feel like
either
I
the
never
most
hit the
useful
buttons
or
fast
the most
enough.
worthless thing ever, and I I delayed getting that for as long as possible, and I went
I am
full on
alone.
lightsaber tree.
No.
I am
It wasn't
alone.
it wasn't because I didn't want to use it. You have to understand. I tried
wanted to
to
use it.
activate it. It wouldn't activate.
Yeah, it's
Really?
hard. You have
No,
to
it just
click
wouldn't
very
work.
fast.
Yeah.
It's like boom, boom. It's
yeah.
not like hit. Like you have to hit it
'Cause-
quickly.
Oh, I guess
That
that's
is
just a controller setup diff.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
For
Maybe.
me,
It's not the
just
controller.
different,
Well, Mitchell
yeah.
played controller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
but
pretty
controller
easy
is dumb.
because you you step.
Because
and
for
then
me
you...
it was literally just finger.
Okay.
yeah, or else I guess you have to move your thumb.
Because
Yeah.
I have
activate. I
Yeah.
don't know what to tell
But
you.
but that was that's when I was able to play the game because Dathomir, I unlocked it in Dathomir when I was getting my butt beat by the Knight Brothers
Yeah.
for the first time, and like because I went there first, and like I felt like that was very useful. I
Dathomir
don't know.
taught me how to parry.
Yeah,
Dathomir
Dathomir
made me
forged
man.
my Cal Kestis's abilities, bro.
Dathomir was the first time in the game where it really felt relevant to parry because there'd be 2 or 3 of those knight fuckers, and then they attack like bitches, you know. So you have to parry them to actually hit them. Stormtroopers too, kind of, but
Yeah.
well, it's
you
the purge troopers that teach you that some enemies have parry sequences.
yeah, I think
Mhm.
troopers are late. Oh well, that's because Kevin and I went to Dathomir really early though. Yeah, because we went right
Mhm.
after Zepho. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
because purge
Right,
troopers,
right.
all of them have a well, a lot of the tougher enemies end up having parry sequences.
yes, yeah. I
Mhm.
definitely parry like all the enemies, which is what pissed me off because all the enemies are parryable. Okay, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, like the lion creature on Dathomir has
Mhm.
I think that's a 4-hit parry sequence that ends with an insta kill.
It's a 3. Yeah, it's an insta kill.
Oh,
Really.
God. I would just dodge.
Yeah, no, yeah, for the so I remember that thing was really aggressive, but yeah, if you parry it and then you manage to parry it,
Three
yeah,
times in a
in a
row.
row, a whole bunch in a row, it then opens up the cinematic kill button.
Finisher.
You slice off its arm or something and slide through it. Yeah. It actually, I thought that was pretty cool, but you don't really get to use it that much because that enemy only shows up like
Usually
3 or
gets
4
that
times.
enemy, and then I think the enemy, okay, in that place with that monkey, that legendary beast, in the
Feral
area right
Jotas.
outside, that troll looking thing, they
The
also have a
regular
similar thing.
Jotas.
Yeah,
They also
Yeah.
have a
the normal Jotazes, yeah.
the image has have a parry sequence.
I thought all enemies had like a parry sequence.
They do. It's the mooks, like the stormtroopers, their parry sequence is like 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they had cool finishers on them, and like the
Mhm.
droids.
Okay,
Yeah.
some of the finishers I was like, this seems kind of really brutal.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
Like
what
the
to
one,
tell you.
like I
Sometimes
think
you
the one I
just
remember is the
slice
one
them
against the
with a
stormtroopers where he like trips them up on the leg and then like without
Oh,
looking,
yeah,
like,
yeah, and
comes
stabs
down
them.
backhanded and
Yeah.
stabs them into the ground.
No, dude, they pulled their punches. There's that one stormtrooper finisher where you slice through the belly in half, right? But they don't actually like fall in half or anything. But when you kill an animal and you slice them in half, they split into 2. You can tell where
Oh,
their
yeah,
priorities
Or
are.
droids. Droids split in
Yeah,
half too.
Oh yeah, the R series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only humans aren't allowed to be split in half, even though you cut them in half.
Oh, man, you can't. They don't want. What's the rated M? It's rated T, right?
And it was T. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta keep your T rating, man.
Hey, but they would be sealed, bro. They wouldn't bleed. It would be solid.
No, you
It's
can't cut
seared,
people
right?
up.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
The
I would
animals
be-
are fine. You can see that you've cut them perfectly in half, perfectly seared.
Yeah, they're basically robots.
Yeah.
I would be slightly interested in seeing what the speedrun in this game is like.
Mm.
Because I remember early on, one of the earlier things where it's like the pistons that come out really fast and you're supposed to slow them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you're supposed to slow them and then get on them.
After
Get on
the
top of them and move to the next platform. I remember I slowed it, got on it, but I was too slow to get to the platform.
uh-huh.
So then it like super sped jammed me into the wall, but I jumped at the same time and I launched like 60 feet into the air.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Super glitch.
Sometimes
And you're gonna
there's
fly
a-
to the
there's a
second
slight-
sister and beat her.
There's a slight collision thing where you can just get knocked like really.
Yeah, I had that a couple times. I had that once I jumped on a pipe and I like just flew straight up. I was like, what the heck?
Did you ever
was
clip
weird.
through walls too? There was a couple times where I clipped through walls.
I never
I
clipped.
never did.
I think
Mostly on
once.
puzzle segments, but yeah.
Mm.
Oh, we didn't talk about
platforming.
Yeah, platform. Platform is nice.
Platforming is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Or as
pretty
well, especially with, towards the end when it got to be like sequences.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
platform
you got
sequences,
the
those
you
were
got
pretty
the
fun.
real metro, or you got the. I had this the last time I had this feeling was Hollow Knight. You got that real, combination of mobility tools.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. It was better than a lot of the games.
Yeah.
Genre, I feel.
And it made you feel like speed because you'd be
Yeah.
combining the wall running with the rope, things like
Yeah,
that.
the wall
Yeah.
running with the double jump to get height on the
Yeah.
same wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
And then like pulling a rope to you and swinging
yeah,
off
pulling
it.
the
Yeah.
rope.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was simple, and it wasn't really hard. It was just nice.
It looked cool, which
It
is
looked
like
cool.
kind of what this game was going for.
Yeah, which is what this game is going for.
I think that's
I would
most of
say,
the
though,
game.
that the Jedi Order was fucked if they didn't randomly put in wall running and ropes everywhere, and Cal really needed to wall
Yeah.
run and rope everywhere.
And it's not all walls. It's specifically walls that have like the horizontal
Yeah.
texturing.
If all
You
these
gotta- they need some grip, you know.
perfectly linear walls and nice ropes that can support a human weight, the Jedi Order is fucked.
Yeah. There were some long ropes once you got floor
Oh yeah, you're like,
Oh, yeah.
whoa.
It's like, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of wig out as it came to you. But...
Oh, and really, really conveniently climbable girders just everywhere.
Oh yeah. And you can't climb anything else though.
Yeah,
Until you
can't
get the
climb
knuckles.
anything
Yeah,
else.
eventually
the
you get the
knuckles, and
finger
then you
thing,
move at the
yeah.
speed of
Oh yeah, that was a weird quality of life bonus perk.
Oh no, I remember halfway through the game I was getting pissed. Like, I'm climbing so fucking slow. I
Yeah, and jumping isn't much faster.
Yeah. Or sometimes
Like-
you jump and then you'd fall off.
I remember
that happened to me a
thinking,
couple
like,
times.
If I developed this game, I would have added a fucking climbing speed passive to the max life force skill tree first that made you faster.
Or I would have just given the climb speed that you got from the claws at the beginning and just have the claw speed. You can climb on these surfaces.
No. Yeah, I didn't know. I was so happy when I found those claws, dude.
Oh yeah, you were like, I'm
Yeah,
zooming.
I think they just wanted to feel like slightly more of an upgrade than just a straight up like gate. They're like, oh, yeah, makes you climb faster
I get
too.
that. I get that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. It was.
It still
It-
wasn't
it's
fast
starting
enough
to get
for me
tedious.
because I still failed the climbing challenge when the bird's chasing you.
Yeah.
I still couldn't climb fast
Uh,
enough. I think I still died a couple of times just because like for some reason he just wasn't climbing fast enough. I just
think
get
one if
bopped by the birds.
I think you're supposed to
a
jump.
rock can hit you.
Yeah.
I got hit
Yeah.
by rocks a couple times.
No, I think you're supposed to jump.
Yeah, because I think jumping is slightly faster than
It's
Just a little bit
faster.
faster,
Yeah.
I don't think I
so-
jumped.
I
No,
remember
no, the claw thing, I think I
it's
jumped.
just like you
because I
can
wasn't
do it
fast
without
enough,
jumping.
then I
It's just
did it with
very
jumping, and it was just fast enough. So yeah.
Can you repeat your
Yeah, can you
thoughts?
repeat that, Jeff? We just talked over each other.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that the first time I did it, I died because I was too slow, like you said, Terry. And then the second time I did it with jumping, and I made it just in time.
Yeah, but I was saying you can actually make it without jumping. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
to be
Mhm.
pretty precise.
Oh, okay.
And you're
having-
like at the very bottom, right in front of the bird the entire time.
Yeah. Gorgara.
Gorgara.
I thought I was getting ripped off when it flew away. I was like, I spent so much effort killing this motherfucker, and you're not
And then you got
finishing.
one of the best
Yeah.
boss reward sequence killings ever. It was almost too much.
Yeah.
It was so
You did,
long.
like 3 times, just like
Yeah.
falling onto
Yeah.
him.
Also, low key, the respawning for that boss killing sequence was kind of dumb because you'd
was
fly
so
past
funny.
it and you just die. So then you'd have to keep retrying the skydive portion and just look
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
stupid.
I failed that a
Yeah.
bunch.
I felt like once.
I actually, I feel it like. once
I think there was like 3 separate skydiving.
There were, yeah, there were a lot of
Yeah,
skydiving
there's 3
sequences.
different skydiving sequences. It was pretty funny.
I feel like some guy was like, "Bro, we put all this effort into animating this super specific gameplay portion. We're gonna reuse it."
It was definitely like, yeah, it was probably like the engineers that like, bro, we spent, you know how long we spent debugging the skydiving animation and sequence with Cal? You got to put it in more.
Yeah, there's no way we're only putting it in once.
It was 3 was good. It didn't overstay its welcome. It almost did.
Yeah, no, that was a cool
I
sequence.
thought it overstayed. 2 would have been fine. I thought 3 was a little too.
It was
I think
cool enough.
Three
Yeah.
was like starting to tilt in like the
Yeah,
okay,
we're trying
this
to
is
jump the shark here. And okay, bro, I get it. You're landing on the bird.
I did want to say that the Wookiees, everything in this game looked beautiful. But the Wookiees
I thought Wookiees
Yeah.
were ugly.
Really?
so bad.
No, I thought everything in this game looks 2019, especially the Wookiees.
Really?
In a good, I thought the game looked really good,
I thought the game looked really
I
good.
don't-
except
game
the
looked-
fucking Wookiees. Their fur texture was like non-existent, and they were so skinny. I don't know.
I thought Wookiees were just ugly. I thought they were supposed to be that skinny.
Nah, if you look at Chewbacca and you look at
Uh-huh.
like the
Yeah.
the Wookiee models, like, whew.
I thought it was just a really.
It's because they were all prisoners of war, Mitchell. They were thin, bro.
Skinny.
Yeah,
human,
bro.
that's what I was
You
like,
think
okay.
They're
you
like
think
Slender Man
keeping
Wookiees,
themselves
man.
well fed?
They're not pretty.
Like some of the stuff of like their in-game model, like not the
Mm.
cutscene models, but the in-game when they're talking to each other with the in-game engine.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
swear, I feel like in most games, in-game cutscenes are not that great even nowadays.
You're getting better.
They're getting
But
better,
yeah.
but
They're getting
Yeah.
better, but this is definitely like, oh yeah, this game came out 3 years ago.
all right. I guess question time. Would you have finished this if you weren't quote unquote forced to? Once you started it.
We updated the question.
If you started it, would you have finished it? I'm
Uh,
a yes. I think I would have. It was enjoyable for me.
Probably.
Probably. You can say no, bro. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm leaning. It's
You
like
risk the wrath of the Star Wars fandom. Answer this wisely.
I mean, yeah, it was enjoyable. I'm probably leaning towards yes. There's like a little bit of like maybe like hesitation, but
Mhm.
probably.
Yes. I want to add as a caveat. I'm big on sci-fi. I just never really got into Star Wars. But this game was interesting enough that I at least felt compelled to look into the lore after beating it a fair amount. So I looked up like a lot of general history stuff and like read up on a lot of stuff. It's pretty interesting. It made me more into Star Wars. I wasn't really into Star Wars before. I kind of like it now,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably one of their aims.
I'm sure the developers would actually be extremely happy to hear that.
Bro, you sound like a fucking spokesperson.
I
company.
I am certain our developers would be most appreciative of that statement.
But, I obviously would have played it through. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think, like being a Star Wars fan, you get a little bit extra out of it, seeing all the references and
Mhm.
stuff. I think was
Mhm.
cool.
I have to say, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would have. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I
Me
agree
too.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why it actually was touted as like good, not just good for Star Wars, but like legitimately good. I think it was
Mhm.
it was well done, well executed, even if not particularly groundbreaking.
Yep.
All right. I think that brings us to the end of this episode. It was a
Alright.
good little Star Wars gaming. But for next month,
Mitchell's
all like
second
the-
game, by the way.
yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Terry
Kevin's second
still
had two
hasn't got a
games.
game because next month we have Kevin's game.
We're actually gonna go
Pathless.
back at the exact same order. Yeah.
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 Where Jeffrey is gonna go next, and then we're gonna loop
And
around.
this
And we're
Kevin's
gonna like
second
guest star
game.
before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And just as an update, 'cause I honestly forget if we talked about it in Tangle Tower, we're changing how we decide what game comes next. Instead of rolling from a giant list of games, we're instead rolling a dice based on who hasn't gone yet, or who hasn't gone yet, so the same person can't go twice. So in this case, we rolled a d6 to determine whether it'd be Kevin's game, Jeff's game, or my game, since Mitchell went this time. And we did roll it, and we did record it just so you guys could see it.
Oh, you
And-
recorded it? Wow.
And it landed on Kevin because Kevin told me to record it
He
and send it
sent
to
you
him
the
on
video.
Telegram.
Yeah.
He sent
I
us all the
forgot.
video.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Well, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you get some Star Wars in. It's a good franchise, Right.
Yeah.
They need your monetary support. Mitchell needs that sequel.
Yeah.
Needs it.
It's coming
Dude, low
already.
key, now I want to go to Disneyland and build one of those fancy lightsabers for like $200. But
Dude.
Only
Have
200,
it.
bro. That's a steal.
Yeah, that's just
For your
steal. How
custom
much you think Cal
lightsaber?
Kestis played, man?
they have Cal Kestis' lightsaber there now, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Hey guys, make sure to like the video, share it with all your
Mm.
friends. Comment down below any sort of mishaps or things we got wrong with the lore. That's always a fun time to read.
No, I am a super fan. I didn't get actually. I might have-
The Dark Souls fans will eat me alive for saying that the final boss is always a small man when that's not true. They will eat me alive.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody. See you next time.
You can hit that stop recording now.